sweet. I repeat.
Well, go on, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to share down the place with nothing but the best of smooth reggae vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva.
DJ Cold
And me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tumejifunza jinsi ya kumfuga mbuzi wa kisasa wa maziwa na kisha jinsi ya kuhifadhi maziwa yake.
Ni biashara kama ingine. Ya pili, it's passion. Napenda ukulima. That's why. Ya tatu, after doing much research about goat milk, that's what motivated me more.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo hapa KBC Channel 1.
It's the 9th of September 2025. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. Where are you watching us from? There's a song that has been ringing in my mind, and I hope after this, Laura is our director, by the way, you will help me. It's called Amba Mutalia. I don't remember the.
It's called what?
Yeah. Amba Mutalia. It's a song. I had it on YouTube. I had it on YouTube, Amba Mutalia. I don't know what it means, but the tune is catchy. So it has been replaying in my mind. I hope Laura. Ama Victor, unajua what is it?
You would have at least given us that melody of it so that we...
I don't know how to pronounce the words. That's the problem. I just... It's a weird song.
I'm trying to go on YouTube and check, because Vivian, we might just fall into some trap.
Amba
right?
Mutalia.
It's called Amba Mutalia.
Just check.
We are doing that.
It's by an artist called Steve K.
Yeah, we have it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's a really nice song. I don't really understand what it means, but
not Kenyan, South African.
No. He's Luya.
Oh, yes.
He's Luya.
Okay.
That song is.
Wafula Mutachu will tell us the meaning of that song.
Actually, yes.
Yeah,
because he's already in studio.
I think the mic can pick it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, what influenced you?
I don't know. I just went to YouTube and I just found that song, and I thought it's a nice one.
Okay.
But welcome to the program. This is how we start the show, and of course a lot is in store for you, including politics and health, so you want to tune in to this program. My name is Mike Migwe. Victor.
Yes.
What's happening?
Good morning and welcome to the program. Of course, this is Good Morning Kenya on this beautiful Tuesday morning. On set today, I want us to talk about the issue of the president is facing a lot of backlash when it comes to court cases, or raise the one talking about the E-procurement that was directed to all the 47 counties and government institutions, as well as that commission, that the formation of the compensation committee is now you know, under a barrage of court cases and court cases. So let's take a look at that. And of course, his third year in office, what are some of the things that, one of them is the court cases that keep on going back and forth, back and forth. What is happening, all right? What is really happening? We have the Office of the Attorney General. And remember, some of these things, before they go to be formed, there must be an advice from the Chief Government Advisor, legal advisor, that is the AG. So what is happening? Wafula Mutashu is for the Kenya Chair. Trans Nzoia will be here. Gibson Gesore, an advocate of the High Court, and Kevin Osido, who is the Executive Director of County Governors Watch, are all in studio. They are seated somewhere in some dark corner, but they'll be here very soon in light. They are going to see the lights shortly. Vivian.
Yes, good morning. A very good morning to each and every one of you who is tuned in on the show. By the way, we are having a game today. That's the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. One of the games is happening today, and that is Kenya versus Seychelles. I don't know what your predictions are. Mike?
Well, anything is possible, but we have good form.
Give me your predictions.
Let's predict it, put it at 2-0.
2-0.
Yes.
Who's winning?
Oh, we are winning.
Harambee Stars.
Oh, yes.
Victor?
I put it at 1-0.
1-0. Harambee Stars taking the win. I also put it at 1-0 because 1-0 seems to be our thing. So I put it at 1-0. Kenya getting the win. Anyway, aside from that, today being a Tuesday, it is Health Tuesday, and right here on the show, we get to bring you people in the medical field and get to tackle different conversations or different topics on matters health. And today, the question we're posing to you is very simple. How often, you know, do you go for your checkups? Or what health-related complications would you want to get to know more about? But specifically, I would want to know, okay, there's the question of the day. What health-related questions do you have for our doctor today? What health-related question do you have for our doctor today? But mainly, I want to know, how often do you go for your checkups? Very simply, because we, okay, I may be speaking for myself, but we rarely go into the hospital. We rarely just go check ourselves into a facility and decide, I want to get to do a checkup. We wait until it's almost too late, or if you're ailing or some place in your body is aching, and then that's when you go take yourself to the hospital. But that should not be the case. Well, we will be looking at the importance of regular healthcare checkups and try to look at the benefits of preventive and routine screening. I will be joined by Dr. Wesley Andota, who's a family physician at the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. He will be here at exactly 9 a.m. So if you got any questions for him, this is your time to put them down. The number that you can be able to send via WhatsApp is 0716-103-301. We'll do that at 9 a.m. Victor?
Don't you think a majority of Kenyans go by that cliche kind of word that if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Yeah.
And whatever you don't know won't hurt you. Which is really...
So, if you're okay, just go about your business. But I concur with you.
Is it that people are optimistic about being in good health
Exactly.
all the time?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Because you can imagine you're just walking. That now I'm just thinking about the, you know...
Yeah.
Take your term and go to the hospital and say, Daktari, today nimekuja, do this and that. You know, that kind of step you take one by one, go to the next one, go to the hospital. And what if, God forbid, there is something happening? Now, that is the reason why, Vivian, people need to go for just regular checkup, probably once or twice a year, if possible.
Absolutely, because there are conditions that can be prevented, you know, or can be easier treated while still in the very early stages. So if you happen to just check yourself into a facility, get checked, they might find out something that would save you a lot. You know?
Because there's something very important to you as a person, because your health matters. And within that realm of optimism, let's have the quote for today. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. That is a quote by Helen Keller. Victor.
Optimism, that is a key word. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. Vivian and Mike, thank you so much. We will touch base slightly later on. Okay, so let me take you through the front page of local dailies, starting with the front page of the Star newspaper. The Star newspaper here, wash, how Juba dirty cash is laundered in Kenya. How Juba dirty cash is laundered in Kenya. That is what's on the front page of the Star newspaper. And it says that countries' riches monetized and concealed and rerouted into global markets. Countries' riches monetized, concealed, and rerouted into global markets. That is what's on the front page of the Star newspaper. Wash, how Juba dirty cash is laundered in Kenya. That is what's on the headline of the Star newspaper. Baptism by fire, Ruto administration at 3, presidency forged in the fire. That is what's again on the front page of the Star. Fee cuts, why universities and government face testing times ahead. The whole issue is about education, and the question of education and financing model has been a very big debate in the country for close to a year now, and that is what is here. Let's just talk about it. IPOA in fresh push for police body cameras. Lobbies want locals at heart of TB research. The question is, how is going to be happening? IPOA in fresh push for police body cameras. My guests are getting in studio, and I can see Kevin. Kevin, you have a copy of the Constitution, which is, you never miss this copy wherever you go. Are you a lawyer by any chance?
Good morning, Victor.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you today?
He's talking off camera. It's okay. It's just good to hear his voice from afar. We'll get into it. There is this question of wash paradise, how Juba dirty cash is laundered in Kenya. Do you remember when that is now the former Interior Cabinet Secretary, that is Fred Matiang'i, said something like that 2022 or thereabout? Kevin?
Yes.
How Juba dirty cash is laundered in Kenya?
Kenya is a friend of very many countries. Mm-hmm. And the beauty about our country is that we are also very loving.
Yeah.
And so the kind of environment that we create for our neighbors and friends is one that sometimes they would wish to take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And so when we have people coming to launder money here, it means that there are certain aspects of the law that is not working, because we also have very strong laws, and that probably the environment also allows for those kind of things to happen. But it really baffles me because when Mheshimiwa Matiang'i raised this issue, we probably did not see serious action being taken. In fact, he was raising it ahead of the 2022 general election.
Yes.
But interestingly is the fact that even some of those whose names were mentioned, Victor, were actually cleared to run for office. And up to now, some of them are still in office. So the beauty is that sometimes, quote unquote, we so blow. We have very some narratives that look like they are good facts. But when it comes to vitu kwa ground, when Kenyans expect the law to work, then we don't see that law working.
And that is our biggest undoing, because you correctly put it. That good book you have there has everything from the first chapter to the last one.
Yes.
But then now, Wafula, when you see such kind of headline on the Star, it means that even the relationship we have with some other jurisdictions will be starting to be questioned, because any consignment leaving this country again will be questioned even before they land into such kind of foreign lands.
Correct. Good morning, Kenyans. I also want to join my friend to echo how Kenya is regarding the money from outside. Kenya is a stable country. And everybody will wish to invest in Kenya or to a country which is stable. You can see the neighboring countries, most of them are not stable. So, and for example, you can go to Italy. Most of, Khartoum is moved to Italy. Khartoum is moved to Italy. When you go to Italy, you'll actually see the face of Khartoum. Because the Kenya is stable. People are moving from Khartoum to invest in Kenya, especially in Eastleigh, in houses and in other businesses, because the country is stable.
Yeah.
But the way my friend has said, we don't follow the law. We have a very good law, actually. In this continent, we have a very stable and a working law, but we are not utilizing it fully because we have a personal interest to whatever is happening, especially this money laundering. You see, it's connected to, sometimes it's connected to big people, people in the government.
Allegedly so.
It's connected.
Allegedly.
So you find that you cannot even prosecute any case of that kind. And go through.
It becomes so difficult because, again, when you see such kind of headlines, then this one calls for quick intervention by the relevant bodies because, I mean, Kevin, you said very well, Kenya is welcoming. Kenya has opened doors for so many people across the globe. And I think such might be abused. So we have to be very firm and see how we can talk about that. Okay, on the front page of the Daily Nation, 1 million state workers gobble up half of taxes. 1 million state workers gobble up half of taxes. Government agencies and counties routinely break statutory ceiling on pay. And there is the graphics on what is happening, again, based on the trends on public wage bill versus the ordinary revenue. You can take a look at that from 2017 all the way to 2024-2025. Ruto invites hundreds of tutors to State House for talks on CBE. Again, county employees go without salaries. Talk about that. And we are talking about 1 million state officers gobble up half of taxes. Orders put on ICE, E-procurement, protest victims team. This is what I have here. And of course, that is going to be forming part of our discussion. Orders put on ICE, E-procurement, protest victims team. And again, the two rulings that came out of that. But let me just get your word very quickly, Kevin, because this is part of our discussion again. And Wafula, when it comes to the E-procurement and the protest victims team, that was formed by the president for the compensation. What do you make of that, the two? But let me start with the first one, which is the e-procurement ruling that came out yesterday.
Victor, we have to be very careful about the kind of trajectory that we take as a country, especially in certain progressive reforms that we wish to do. And the e-procurement is a very positive and progressive step that the country is taking, particularly when it comes to curbing corruption and especially strengthening the public procurement portals and processes. But remember that we have a constitution that really looks at, basically it cuts through the meat and the blood.
Yes.
So anything that you want to do in this country right now, particularly given the fact that Kenyans are highly litigious, which means that any small thing, any mid thing, any main thing, we want to test it at the corridors of justice and of law. And so it is a good thing that this process has been petitioned. Remember that there have been lots of questions and queries, concerns, particularly from major users like county governments led by the excellency governors. And so it is important that a break is taken so that we look at the questions, the queries, the prayers, and then we seek to strengthen them. Where I stand and looking at the history of procurement and wastage of public resources in this country, we must go electronic, and digitization works. At County Governance Watch, we have also overemphasized the fact that county governments must digitize their systems, and so that this digitization covers a number of things. One is, of course, census revenue for county governments. Number two is also what we call public participation. You know, digitization in public participation, we struggle because sometimes people are not everyone would be comfortable to come into a hall to participate in a public discussion or a public conversation. So we have to digitize public participation to help people like Victor who would want to also share their voices on some serious concerns so that those issues are also taken validly. You know, right now you can do many things online, But in the form of the kind of public participation laws and processes that we have right now, despite the fact that we don't have a national law, your views will just be treated as your views and your social media page or wherever you send them. So digitization works, and especially when it comes to procurement. And I think that we have been told in the past by one of our good former presidents that we lose 2 billion shillings a day. If you do 2 billion shillings per day for 1 year, is money which is almost triple what goes to county government.
Correct.
So if e-procurement is going to help us, and I think I read somewhere that now we are prospecting to save about almost 100 billion shillings if we embrace all government ministries, departments and agencies, we embrace e-procurement, then we'll be able to make certain savings. So the petitions are part of the life, is part of the political economy, is part of the political context, is also part of leadership and governance. So let the courts have their recommendations on what needs to be done. Some of those issues are very, very relevant, Victor, particularly on public participation and also consultation. I was present at Daystar University when CS Treasury made the first announcement during his public conversations and public town hall meeting with citizens. And then already you could hear people celebrating and also going against the very progressive.
Which is very okay.
Yeah. So it's basically part of the political economy and it's part of the political context. But we are hoping that ultimately e-procurement will carry the day. And we'll share some of the details as we move on with
We'll take a quick break. Wafula, are you happy about the court ruling? Yes or no?
No, I'm not happy.
Thank you.
I'm not happy.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more. Please stay with us. It's 7 on the dot. We'll be right back shortly.
Na leo inaonekana umechangamka.
Na pia nimefurahi.
Unajua nilikununulia nini jana?
We, Cindy. Dadi umeiba. Hujalipa.
Yo pesa. Masajili atakulipa.
Can someone please explain to me what is going on here?
Pate pesa zetu bwana. Jambo mengi.
Hi Josh.
Ndio mrembo kawe afayonekana akingangana na mtungi hapa village.
Miss can't complain.
Auogopi Mungu, auogopi shetani. Hata nadhani ujiogopi wewe. Nani kama wewe pastor?
Sio mambo tulimaliza mwana. Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Nimeshaongea na huyo mzika. Haezi hata kufungua mdomo yake.
Today, we are diving into a space that has for very long been dominated by men, but not anymore. I'm talking about the construction industry.
I was really intrigued by these skyscrapers. It was the 90s. There was barely anything like that in the city. And I just wanted to be a part of it. It felt like a sci-fi frontier.
Yes.
And going through my architecture studies, I was just really inspired and driven how architecture really frames the built environment.
It's not an easy task, but when you are in that company, you found those male fundis.
Yes, you did.
They normally say that a woman cannot control me, a woman cannot lead me.
Most important thing is to be known as you're good at what you do. I think that's the most important place to start.
When you have a passion on something and you want to do it, believe in yourself, carry yourself with head high, trust in yourself and trust in the process.
They say the art without art would just be, get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC. Channel 1.
Welcome back. It's now 3 minutes past 7 a.m. Wafula Mutacho is not a happy man. Why are you not so happy, Wafula?
You know, I'm a victim of the old system of procurement. I'm a victim, Victor. I've lost a very good lucrative tenders that I was expecting to have won, but finally it is decided by one person. The reason is not given. Like one in Nisha recently, I was even almost given, I was notified by the tenderers, the valuators, that hey, today you made good progress, you've put your documents well, and your price is within our range. And so prepare. You have the capacity. I said, yes, I have a capacity. I'm okay. But toward the end, they gave it to somebody else. Now that is why that old system of tendering is not favoring some of the people who are benefiting from it. And they expected governors also to make noise. Because indeed it came very fast, my governor in Trans Nzoia made noise on that. Even inside these people, the locals, that now the government is going e-procurement, which we don't want, and people will be doing some businesses in our county. Our people in county will not be doing business. That is not the reason. These governors, they have several companies. They have registered. When they float a tender, they are the one to do it. They manipulate the procurement system. So, me, I'm for e-procurement system, and I want to echo people like entities like Kenya Power. Kenya Power, they started a long time ago. They have been doing it. So when you tender, you tender it online. You don't, and you know it reduces cost, paperwork, a lot of things. There is no paperwork in e-procurement. So you see, you can just see on the portal what is missing. And what, your prices are there. No, now it's not like this one, this old one, sometimes somebody can decide to run with your document or remove some document in your tender book, and then become a reason why you are dropped, you see. But with e-procurement, everything will remain in the portal. I discussed with some of the procurement managers yesterday, and they embraced the e-procurement. They said that this old procurement system, it has been, they have been facing a lot of problems, because if they don't comply with their bosses, they risk losing their job, you see. So equally to the counties, counties are the major people who have been misused the old procurement system. And that's why they don't want to go the e-procurement system. Yeah, so, and even the public participation, the way my friend was, Kevin was talking, today, Kevin, we are reading the same page, I don't know why. Because everything is, we are on the same page. Even the public participation, I saw some of the governors ferrying people to a hall, paid people to a hall so that they could pass the public participation. Yeah. Okay. Now you see, the public participation is not also free and fair. So we need to go even online. People participate online. Even if you are in Nairobi and you want to participate in your account, you can do it online, contribute online, and let people see your views before we move on to awarding on the tender or deciding on what to do. Yeah. So we have lost a lot of money in this old system of procurement. And I think the government, with this one, I support the government because they will save a lot of money.
Okay. When you look at the whole system, one of them was meant to seal the loopholes and actually to hasten and have everything on record. That if you tender for a particular, if you bid for a particular tender, then it's streamlined. And there is, I mean, that record should be there for the longest time that e-procurement should be in place. But then now, the governors are also asking for 18 months period. 18 months from now, that would be probably sometime
after election.
Post-elections.
After election.
Exactly.
Yes, after election.
Why that?
Victor, that's a very good question. The only challenge with the question is that I might not know why governors are asking for such a long time. However, based on how systems work, there are many components that are expected from a system like this one, and especially given the magnitude of what this system is supposed to do.
Yes.
Particularly based on the positive aspects, which include largely one is war on corruption, which is related to public procurement. So governors probably are asking for that amount of time because part of what I have heard them saying is for proper consultations. Now, when you put up a system, you do not have to consult everyone. What you must be able to do is to try it and test it. Now, part of why probably the 18 months is because the county governors have an experience in engaging in similar processes, particularly with the Integrated Financial Management Information System, the IFMIS, which is what informs a lot of procurement and even budget processes at the county level.
Yeah.
And based on the challenges that I have also seen some of the county officials going through, and probably the delays that are related with the electronic and the manual. So the hybrid system of engaging with the IFMIS could probably inform why governors are asking for that amount of time. Number two is the digitization of our country. True to the fact is that there are still certain areas in this country that are not connected to the grid of internet or the presence of just strong Wi-Fi, strong bundles, you know. So that opportunity would also give naysayers, quote unquote, a chance or an excuse to want to ask for time. And Victor, that is interesting because the government of Kenya from many years, not just with this government, but even the former government, they've been telling us about last mile connectivity of both electricity and internet, and every day we see fiber opticking across, you know, the country being dug everywhere. So the question then that would be begging is how far are we with that? Have we been able to achieve progressive and effective connectivity? And it reminds me of the former CS for ICT, Mheshimiwa Edward Owalo, who was almost everywhere, this country, almost in every corner, you know, trying to put in place digital hubs and all those things. And there are also some counties that have actually installed free Wi-Fi in certain areas of their counties. So you ask yourself, would that be a good excuse? And if so, then what are we doing about it and what must we do about it? Number three, Victor, in my view, is communication. Now, communication, and sometimes I really sympathize, I both sympathize and also empathize with the president, because I think he is carrying too much. His Excellency President William Ruto is carrying too much, even to the extent of having to explain to people that this e-procurement is going to be good for us because of this, to be good for us because of that. Those who are, you know, sponsoring headlines do not want it because they want to circumvent and do corruption deals. That should not be, in my view, the responsibility of the president, because we have proper communication tools and channels, and the government has effective capacity to be able to communicate. So communicating the positive aspects of e-procurement, I don't think have been properly done, so that people begin to see sense and value in why we need to migrate from the manual to the digital aspect. Number three, Victor, I don't know whether it's 3 or 4, but let me say 4, is certain laws like Public Procurement and Disposal Act, that, as an example, that need to be panel beaten, which is partly why I think the courts were making references to certain laws that also need to be reviewed so that they align to the reforms of digitization that the country is moving forward. So some of these things, and I still don't believe that a law will take that long, because we know the lawmaking processes and system in this country, but largely is about political goodwill. And that goodwill, I think the president has been at the forefront, and he has showed that there is positive political goodwill from where he is seated. So how all those things will be able to fit in is the most important thing. But as I finish, because I know Chairman also might want to weigh in on this, is something that the governors are afraid that is going to also lock out certain people. And this is an angle that I would want to look at from a political perspective. You know, the people who do procurement with government at the county level, some of them are not very able, you know, like the women networks, the youth networks, networks of persons with disabilities, who are also given certain tenders at the county level. So the fear that maybe the governors might have is, what does that mean for their voter blocks? You know, there are companies, there are people, there are organizations, there are probably community-based organizations that have also been cleared to be able to do certain businesses with government, like car washing, washing county cars, providing teas that sometimes are taken in county offices, and any other thing, even supply of, IEC materials, branding, or even stationery. And that there is a margin of what they are able to contribute to the county government. And the governors, because of the political perspective of looking at things, have the responsibility or the wherewithal to decide who gets which tender at that level. So the fear might be, will they have the capacity, you know, to be onboarded onto this particular system? And if they do, what is the guarantee that they will still accredit certain political, responsibility or goodwill to the governors as having given them the opportunity to do government, to do business with the county government, and therefore pay back probably when it comes to elections. So there are many things that I know that Mheshimiwa Mbadi and the team, because I know that at Treasury also there is a team, a committee that is working on all these issues. The prayer is to ask them to open up the system and take people through how it works, what are the pros, and try and deal with all these issues. Because, Victor, we have also seen in this country where people still circumvent systems. Maybe it is locked down. You are told the system is not working, and you are seated there and you are waiting. You don't know what is going on at the back end. So there are many issues that might tend to beat, to fight out the positive aspects.
You've raised that point.
E-procurement.
I think when you say that, you call chairman's name. Chairman, when it comes to political...
The chairman is a chairman of a political party.
Let's just call him chairman. But then, when you look at the political aspect, he's raised that bit of it. That also informs that 18-month window they're talking about to have remedial kind of, measures. That would be up to 2027 elections, 18 months from now.
Of course.
Politics at play.
Yeah. But me, I'm not supporting that. Me, I wanted to start like yesterday, because I know the effect of it. Yeah, the governors, I know they have enjoyed enough, they have enjoyed enough. And now it is time for everything to be open. And public procurement and disposal team, so that everybody can see which tender is due, which tender is been done, and you can just check it on the portal. But now you see the governors, I know, when yesterday I was talking to one of the procurement person, he told me it is not everything that is taken to e-procurement. They have left with a small window. In the case of emergencies, yeah, they have left with that window, but up to a certain level for money expenditure. So it's not the whole thing. So the small items, the way my friend Kevin have been talking about, like supply of tea, stationery, small stationaries, that window is opened, and those one are single sourcing. That one's left. But the major procurement entities, items, services, that one, let us go to e-system. It is very important.
Okay.
This country will save a lot of money.
It will save a lot of money. Wakili, are you a victim of e-procurement? You're so quiet. Ama, you are trying to do something in the street before coming.
Thank you, Victor, and, Chairman and Osido. I think this is a very good debate, Victor.
Karibu.
This particular morning, I think e-procurement is really something which, as a government, when they said they were taking, I don't know, 5,000 or 7,000 services online, that is, I think, one of the things which ought to have been put in place. The fact that it's being talked about right now means that we're a bit late, but then it's better late than never. So this essentially is going to weed out some fake suppliers. Those people who supply wind. Yes, so that is how we are going to be able to know so and so supplied. And so is a relative of a certain governor, and he supplied wind. If he claims to have dug a road, you know, it's something which that's where we live, we will need to see that road. So that is very essential to be able to expose. So the whole essence of why they are having challenges is because county governments have been an epicenter or a crime scene, if I might put it in legal terms, a crime scene for pilfering government money. And that essentially will make that governors are not going to get enough money for their campaigns. Because essentially, I'm anticipating this to be also in line or in tandem with the e-payments, which is IFMIS. So if any monies you have tendered through your county government, all the monies will have to be paid by IFMIS, as opposed to what is happening right now, where the money goes to the counties and now the counties are able to expend. So that in itself will be able to bring a lot of transparency, will be able to bring a lot of accountability in terms of governance, of how services are delivered by Kenyans. And then most importantly, we'll be able to know whose money, who has taken the government money and what has he done with this money. That is what the government or whoever is opposed to this program is. Then also for government, I don't think that it's really their plan. You see, we are always on the Okwajasi program by the World Bank. And those are some of the measures which they've put in place to ensure that, you see, when I'm giving you my money, I better know where you're taking it. If you keep telling me that this money is disappearing, and yet I can be able to, in my assessment, I can be able to say, I gave Victor 2 billion, and the only thing he has delivered is a table. I mean, there's no table for 2 billion. So I will be asking you, how much did the veneer cost for the table, how much went into this. So basically, those are some of the processes which come with borrowed money, and I think our government has got to account for all that monies. So it means that we are being put under the spectacle to be able to ensure that we account for whatever monies which are given to us. So all in all, Victor, to wrap it up, it's a good thing for Kenyans, and then it's good for transparency, and it's good for enforcement of the Constitution.
One important thing is Article 10.
Yes.
And governors talked about it. I mean, public participation. But Kevin, when was this e-procurement, the inaugural meeting at Strathmore, when was it?
This was during the public finance bill for 2025-2026, and that should have been the last week of June.
Last week of June.
Because the CS indicated that from 1st of July 2025, which is this year, then all government procurement processes.
So June, July, August, September, that is like 4 months ago now.
Precisely.
So just a minute, talk about that, because when you talk about public participation, probably it must have gone through necessary steps. We've seen CS Mbadi going different forums, talking about it with some of the sector players, private sector players, people from the legal teams, from, just to streamline it and to strengthen it even more. But how much time do we need for public participation if the people who are directly concerned with this are the procurement officers, accounting officers, and quote-unquote governors who are the CEOs of the county officers?
Victor, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But procurement is not just for the primary users. Systems are not just for those who sit there and engage with it. It is an open process, and especially because when it comes to procurement and tendering, anybody can be able to tender. Anyone, as long as it is gazetted.
It's an open.
Yes, it is an open tender, except for certain categories. I presume, for example, under defense, Ministry of Defense, there could be some selected single sourcing. Like, for example, you'd not wish that everybody knows where Kenya is buying its artillery from. We can have an array of suppliers, but to be able to be bolstered against the enemy, DOD might wish to not really. Yes, sometimes I see that they advertise the tenders, but beyond the advert and what might probably be in the system, it might not be public knowledge and information based on whatever category of what is being supplied. So procurement and tendering becomes an open process. And I like how it is normally done, because sometimes they say open tender. It is written there. Sometimes they say closed tender. But even the closed tender, it doesn't mean that you have the leeway to single source. It is closed to those expatriates or people who, for example, affirmative action issues, where you have a tender for young people. Like now in Kenya, for example, we have what is called AGPO, Access to Government Procurement Opportunities, which is closed for the affirmative action category, for women, for youth, for persons with disability. So to that extent, we have certain, and I'm sure that the law, Public Procurement and Public Disposal Act, actually supports that kind of issue. So when it comes to why the timeline, in my view, it has to go back to, again, communication and public participation. And that's why, for me, I do not think that the government has done effectively well. Maybe I have not been keen to look at how the communication is being done, but if you look at some of the issues that are being raised right now, in my view, they look so trivial, like minute and small, to stop such a very progressive system from taking effect. But to the extent that you mentioned the Constitution, like Article 10, one of those values, which is public participation, you have to show and indicate that public participated, they were consulted, and governors are saying, you didn't consult us. For example, I heard the chair of Council of Governors saying that there were pilots in 3 counties. It is only fair that you show which counties those were and what kind of processes went into those counties and who determined. Because when it comes to county issues, I believe that Council of Governors really should have a say in even determining which of those counties, just the same way it happened with SHA, the piloting, the same way it happened with universal health coverage. There were initial 4 counties that were piloted, and it was agreed upon between the national government and the county governments that based on, for example, certain disease prevalences, we are going to look at this county because we think that the uptake for what we are proposing is higher there. So even for e-procurement, the government, particularly the National Treasury, and in that forum at Dista University, the CS actually even asked one of the directors who is in charge of this rollout to stand and wave to the people. And so it is important that that kind of a communication, Victor, and the kind of processes that really need to onboard and integrate critical players. Not that governors want to stop it because they are the big tenderpreneurs, but it is important that we look at it from an angle of opening up the system so that any challenges and what I would call probably lessons learned from IFMIS, for example, from SHA, from all these other digital processes that we have, would then be integrated into the electronic procurement system, which then would deal with distrust issues that any Kenyan would want to have. And of course, I think that is not as difficult as probably going to court, but the court has to, mitigate and provide mechanisms where everybody therefore feels comfortable that they are listened to, they are consulted, and they also have a way to integrate or to engage with the system.
All of you have driving licenses. How quick is it right now to apply for one or even to renew? Omwami?
It's very fast. Very fast. Tap, tap. So, but on top of that, I just want to add something what my friend has said.
I wanted to ask the question with that. You hijacked, but I just continue. Ask.
Before it evaporates, there is no time for governors at least to do all these things. Already the system have been tested. As I told you earlier, the Kenya Power have been using this system for more than 5 years. And they have never had any problem with it. KRA have been using this system So if the government is taking up that model of the KRA and Kenya Power, it means they have tested and it's working. It doesn't need time. The time governors want is how to arrange their houses. And I know the way they have been looting and micromanaging the tender system. Now that is their worry. It is not about effectiveness or what. No, the government cannot just come out from sleep and say, now we are introducing this. No. This system has been there for so many years. I have been tendering to Kenya Power. I just see through who has won the tender. Why have I lost? You can just see in the system. And this is what we want. So there is no need of time, Victor. There is I don't see any need at benchmarking or what. And, no. We don't need, there is no time for that. Give us 18 months. 18 months for what? 18 months for what, surely? The system Kenya Power is using for the last 5 years. And you know Kenya Power is big. Kenya Power drives the economy of this country. It's big.
Yeah.
You know KRA the way they are. It's a big entity. If they can succeed and they are working effectively, what about the county?
I think in short, probably what the governors might be saying is capacity, Victor. Because initially, you talked about procurement officers, directors, etc., which I think, based on one of the headlines that you read about the fact that we spend so much on recurrent expenditure as opposed to development spending, part of what we must do is human resource audit, so that we also know if governors are asking for 18 months, what is then the capacity of the person, the end user, and even the person who is supposed to integrate with this particular system? Because governors, we know, they are not there, they are not the day-to-day users and consumers of this system. So part of what the concerns would be is the capacity of the...
No, you see, capacity, my friend Kevin, capacity, actually it reduces the manpower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It reduces the manpower.
We take a quick break.
Also, just a moment, Victor, and also, it gives the Auditor General an easy work to verify the document. If they want a document for this tender, it is online. They just do it very easily. Then the document...
Because the question is, if they need 18 months and procurement should be done between now, probably the whole of this week, so what happens? It will still be manual. Just asking.
Yeah, the court has ruled that you do a hybrid,
exactly,
both electronic and manual.
So the question I want to ask all of you when you come back is the issue of the separation of powers. Counties probably feel that the national government is infiltrating into their own affairs. Can this happen if this communication comes from the National Treasury and is directed to the counties? Could it be one of the behind-the-scenes reasons why governors are opposed to this? They're saying that counties should be left to run their own affairs without any interference from the national government.
They loot everything, Victor.
The money is not theirs.
Let's take a break. Before they loot my time, we'll be right back.
A grown woman who we took abroad to study, then she decides to get a baby and keep it a secret for God knows how long.
Don't owe you any explanation.
Are you Chris? Unajua mimi ni nani? If you don't let me go right now,
My friend, you are in trouble.
You need to come back. I feel like something bad is going to happen.
Itisha alafu nilalishwe chini, wacha ikae.
I want to go home.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
I don't trust her one bit.
Lucky, right? Relax.
Friday night again.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. If not, get yourself a digital set-top box. Next, connect your set-top box to an aerial and the aerial to your TV. Use RCA cables, yellow for video, red and white for audio, or simply plug in an HDMI cable for high-quality sound and picture. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
And welcome back. E-procurement. I'm talking about E. No, you had to. You didn't hear me well. I didn't say e-procurement. I said okay, so the issue of e-procurement. I mean, Wakili, I ask a question, then you can all answer this question. Then the separation of powers, probably not so much for it that the counties and the national government, they are, they still work together.
Yes.
And national government, the national treasury, John Mbadi, CS, has a direct say to the counties because that's where money comes from, basically. But do you think that could be behind the scenes reasons why governors are probably opposing and now quoting part of the Constitution, Article 10, and enough time to do public participation, but deep down they feel like they need to be given time and space to operate by themselves?
I will agree with governors on one part and then disagree with them on the other. The part where I will agree with them is the aspect of public participation. I seated here as a lawyer, I would want to say I would want to agree with what the courts have been saying. What is public participation to the threshold of Article 10 is one whereby which has got to be quality. It has got to be able to comply with all the tenets of what the courts have been able to outline, and that is not lost on anyone because there are several cases on public participation.
Yes.
If we say we just move right now into e-procurement, then we will be offending the Constitution. What essentially Mbadi should have done, when we had the run-up to the last finance bill, when we were doing the public participation, he ought to have been running the e-procurement public participation on the sideline so that they are moving in tandem. So if you want to implement it, they can be able to run it in tandem and say, we have had enough public participation. Remember, from time to time, we have been always having court cases, very good law comes, but then it fails on the Article 10 parameters. So to avoid this is something you ought to have known. He was never told that morning when he stood at Strathmore to say, we're going e-procurement from September. That's not that morning he knew that there is going to be public procurement, e-procurement on that day. So he ought to have been, you see the way we prepare our constitution, that's the way he ought to have oriented, so that there is enough people like Osido with capacity who are told, can you go do public sensitization to the counties? So that the counties can be called to all the procurement officers, whom among others are Shamba boys of governors. They're called to be sensitized, to be taken through the system to actually understand what is this animal called e-procurement. So that by the time we are at September, they already understand. They already know this is the format of what we are expected to do. And these are the pros and cons. What Chairman has said, the Auditor General, also ought to have been in that meeting to also do her public participation and say, when I come to your counties and I'm auditing the e-procurement process, this is what I will be looking at. So if you tell me it's a road, these are the documents I will need, and they ought to be in the system. Yes. This is how you communicate that this is a tender. These are the tenets of what should be in the e-procurement profile. So if any of this is missing, then you are at a miss. So that everybody knows. I've seen NCA, the National Construction Authority, they always do continuous public sensitization, whereby if they need, maybe there is going to be a cycle for roads to be done, or constructions have been, buildings have been full, they call all the engineers. They call for meetings for engineers and contractors. Remember, some contractors are not engineers. So that you tell them, guys, this is what we require from you. And we will not going to issue any license from the NCA if you've not attended some 2 or 3 or some very critical sensitization meeting for us, because you could be wanting in some of the requirements which you want construction to be done. Not to say that still our roads are bad, but that aspect of them being very deliberate and going out to do for all the players. And they do it, even they devolve them even to the regions, so that you don't say that somebody in doing construction in Turkana will not be jeopardized. Will say, I've never heard of that thing. They call for everybody because they have everybody in their register, and then they ensure that for you to be issued with the next year's license, they see whether you have enough points, because each of these things have points. So that is akin to something which is quality public participation, where all the players. For each county, for example, we could be able to have all the suppliers being called to a meeting in one day. This happens. I think Chairman has talked of Kenya Power. They call all their suppliers, all their pre-qualified suppliers. Yes. So that they tell you, now we have shortlisted you, you are in our. So when we will be requiring services, this and this and this is what we want you from. Even that's when even they explain themselves that sometimes our payments, they even apologize, our payments delay, you'll be able to bear with us. These are the reasons, but we undertake, we are going to pay you within this period. Okay. So once you've done this, you know, that avenue of being open, having heart-to-heart talk, having very positive engagements, that is what needs to be done, so that nobody complains. So that even if you jump up and say, hey, I've never heard of this, you'll be told, are you the only stranger in Jerusalem? So that at the end of the day, everybody is at home and comfortable that this is starting and we are good to go.
Okay. Chairman.
Yes.
I mean, when you talk about the separation, you know, counties and national government, do you think they should be left alone to run their own affairs? Because if it's an open tender, then it means I, Victor Law, sitting in Nairobi, I can procure something happening in Mandera County. If I win that tender, that's it.
You know, Victor, you can't leave the county to run independently the way they want to know. You know, this money they are receiving from the national government. And of course, we must have the checks from the national government and guidelines from the national government. They get money from Treasury. The Treasury must give them the directive. And also the checks must come from the Auditor General. Like now, Auditor General said that before I approve your next financial bill, you must state in that bill your pending bills and how you are going to clear the pending bills. That is one thing that Auditor General did, which other Auditor General have never done.
Yes.
And actually, I salute for her, because we have seen in most occasions counties giving out payments for the recent work done, or the supplier, leaving the previous suppliers. I have an example. One of my relatives, got a shock and died immediately when auctioneers came to his home. That they are auctioning his house, and he took a loan using that house that as a collateral. The bank gave him the loan. He went to work in the county. He finished the job well, and now the issue was payment. Now, on this other hand, the bank is on his neck. They want money. They ended up taking up the auctioneer. When the auctioneer came to his home, the guy fainted and said, "Now, this is the only asset I have." And he had put up a nice home in Kitale. I'm not talking in any other county. It is in Kitale, Trans Nzoia. He had put up a nice home. You could admire the home. Now the auctioneer is coming with a bell. He wants to auction. The guy fainted and he was taken to hospital. Immediately he passed on. When he passed on, the governor came for that funeral. The governor came for that funeral and said, "We are sorry. Now we are paying you. We are clearing
to dance on his grave."
Yes, we are clearing the bill. We are clearing the bill. Now he was clearing the bill when this guy was, is dead.
He's gone.
He's gone. Now that is what we don't want to leave counties alone. No, the counties must have some guidelines from the Nation Treasury and also the checks from the Auditor General. So the issue of independence of the country, the law is made in Nairobi. That is subsidiary laws they are following. But the laws are made in Nairobi.
Just to support that, Victor, there is most times when you see governors being audited, including my own governor, when he shows up, most times all these governors, when they are asked,
your own governor is who?
I don't want to mention that. Victor knows him. So when they show up, always persistently, if you watch those clips at the Senate, they always say, "We will provide those documents." They are there, we will provide them next week. So for e-procurement, that mischief is going to be treated because those documents have got to be there.
Yes.
How did you procure if the documents were not there?
Wafula, just a word of caution. Never ask a man who is your governor, because a man can have many homes.
No, he has just said, like, my governor. Now I wanted to know which governor.
Can have many governors across the country.
I don't know if it's interested to know. My point is, these critical documents will have to be availed because the system now will have to be transparent and open.
I will also talk about the issue of adoption and challenge and change management, because the issue of adopting from the manual system and going, change is as good as rest. But even in the Bible, people actually objected to change. I mean, it's in the good book.
Yeah, but in Deuteronomy, they were told that these are the blessings if you obey. These are the curses if you disobey. If you read Deuteronomy 20 all the way up to Revelations. But it still goes back to what we are saying, Victor. And maybe just to buttress on the issue of separation of powers, the fact of the matter is that we do not have two public finance management acts. It is one, which guides both national and county governments and all entities. Because this battle should not be seen to be between National Treasury and Council of Governors. I think the governors have come out to be the most robust in terms of opposing and also laying out their demands. But those demands should be juxtaposed with blessings and curses. So if you obey, this is the blessings that you get. For example, in my view and way of looking at it, I would say that because we get directives from controller of budget when it comes to budgeting for counties, we put a threshold and say for counties that are going to adopt very fast, we clear, because we can see already that you've cleared and you have actually aligned to what we are expecting. So we clear your budgets very fast. It means that these delays of disbursements, that, these excuses that sometimes we have, will be dealt with. So that counties that will not have adopted the system will then be waiting. So you wait until when you're able to onboard, after, of course, doing all these things we are talking about, the consultations, the public participation, etc. So there has to be blessings and curses. What are these pros? What are the positive aspects? What are the cons? What are the negative aspects? Of course, number two, we also know, Victor, that we do not have two laws on what we call the PADA, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act. It is one. So the same measures that national government entities use to procure and also to dispose apply to county governments. So you will not go and customize. You use your county assembly to customize your asset disposal law at the county level. Of course, there are certain measures that you take note of, and that I think is also based on the procurement committees, because these laws are supported by institutions. And part of those institutions, of course, are the procurement committees, among others, which, of course, generate some of the documents that Chairman and Wakili are talking about, like the minutes of a meeting, you know, to procure a major asset in a county. Those minutes must be produced, you know. Balance statements or
variations.
Bank documents, they have to be produced. When you do what we call three tenders, what is it called? Bid analysis. You must produce that Kevin brought this, Mheshimiwa Wafula brought this, and Wakili brought this, and this is in the portal, and you can be able to print it. I was very impressed, Victor, because thank God I was I was bidding for something towards the end of last week. And one of the forms that they required was what is called a conflict of interest form, just to verify that you have no relations with anyone in that particular entity. So they take you to a link, then you open the link and you start inputting. And within 5 minutes, I got a response to my email. As I was still seated on my laptop, an email came and said, yeah, you have qualified for the first round of the procurement, procurement on conflict of interest. There are no issues. So in case you are successful, we will take you to the second level. And you see, you walk home and say, this is okay. Now I can print that something and use it to raise queries and concerns. Correct. So in the same manner, all these issues that are being raised by stakeholders about this procurement process have to be put to the table. Let people understand what are the positive aspects, what are these good things that are going to come out of best practice from national government to county governments. You know, sometimes maybe the governors are not saying it, but they also have challenges with national government procurement, because some of them have been part of it. Where, for example, you, as an example of Kenya Power, just to say, you bid for something and you realize a relative of a politician at the national level has been given something just because he or she is related to that particular politician, and you are a governor, or maybe you are aiming towards being a governor of a county. So when you become a governor, you will say, you might not mention names, but that discomfort about how you were treated might, you know, send certain shivers and say, how what was national government, the way they treated me, I'm afraid about this issue. So all this negative vibe, as Kenyans call it, there is a way in which they have to be dealt with. And the beauty of it, Victor, is that it has gotten to the courts. The courts have made their recommendations pending hearing that is also slated. But that also gives National Treasury and all the primary stakeholders time
to streamline,
to be able to deal with the challenges, to streamline and to, you know, make it watertight. If it is being compared to IFMIS, fix it. If it is being compared to e-Citizen, where we lost hundreds of billions that we are told went to somebody's M-Pesa, you deal with it, and then ultimately bring in the Controller of Budget and the Auditor General also to share the frustrations that they go through, because, Victor, they go through a lot of frustrations. And their work is very clear, which is not necessarily political. They are doing work which has been given to them by this constitution. So this particular law will also be able to protect that work that the Controller of Budget is doing and also the Auditor General. But bottom line, in my view, is consult and also pilot in an effective way. Take people through the system. I have not seen a TikTok from primary stakeholders telling us log in here, press here, and then ultimately what is there?
But again, when you talk about this one, Kevin, because system integration is very important. When you talk about billions, you know, getting lost, you know, because there's a tender, somebody applied for this tender in a particular. For example, if you talked about, the report is out there in the public domain. But when you talk about public platform integration and cybersecurity, Omwami, it's quite susceptible to kind of, infiltration and manipulation, data protection and all that. Don't you think this is one of the challenges that probably the government should work on quite sternly before rolling out this, before we have even that court ruling coming up in October?
No, I don't think, because...
really, cybersecurity?
With cybersecurity is aimed at different things, not on tendering so much. My son is doing cybersecurity, and he takes me a lot in that. I remember when the system were shut down, and those people were destroying the system, wanted some ransom money. My son told me they will not open. The KA must pay them, so that before they damage everything.
Kenya airports.
Yes, before they damage everything. Those people, I know they will not. They must be paid. So the cybersecurity issue, I know, it's an issue right now with the system, the way we are moving. But also, on procurement and asset finance law, I think at the moment it's just okay. The only thing is implementation. And the second thing is system integration. I think there is a time I went to somebody's office and I was verifying my document. I don't know if it was my document or what, my company. Now, he could see me fully, and I was worried. He could see me fully.
Exposed to you.
Yeah. What I've done, I remit care. Oh, who did this? Are you the one who did this tender? Are you paid everything? You could see me fully. Now I was worried. Hey, how do you know? Those are system integration. Now you cannot hide yourself.
Yeah.
You can't. Everybody will see your company. Yes, you can log in if you have that powers of access. Yeah. You can log in and see you fully. If you are cheating, if you've run away from not fulfilling a certain tender,
you'll be caught.
You'll be caught. It will be easy. You see. So I was worried, and I said, now this is where Kenyans we have reached. That this guy can see me exactly. I did this tender. I've done this. Did I remit the KRA? Yes, you remitted, but you have not finished. He can see me. Victor. That is where we are going.
Chairman, you're a good man. Don't worry.
That is where we are going.
Yes, Victor. I think for me, I like this debate so much in that, you see, when we are moving to system integration, we will also have something to do with litigation history. Yeah. That's one of the major problems we have ever faced in this particular country, whereby you find some company has not delivered in a couple of counties or in government procurement services, and they have cases for multi-billion of shillings, and then they still get awarded. Imagine. You wonder even very clean people like Kevin who have come with their company, which have done very well.
Amen.
Then they are told, you don't qualify. Well, the dirty man gets the job.
Yeah.
See, those are some of the questions which make people now feel that the government is not being transparent. So at least with this, we will be able to know whose litigation history is available, and we'll be able to counter-check it. Part of the documents which Kevin was talking about when he was saying that he has qualified in the first stage for the other critical document is the one for litigation history, which needs to be included in that particular document, so that you can be able to portray and know this person. There could be litigation where you are claiming money, as a chairman is saying that are you paid for this money? You see, that is okay.
That is okay.
That is very okay, so that somebody also cares about your welfare, that you actually got money, so you are liquid enough to deliver on this tender. So if you did a multi-billion project, so most probably you'll be able to have that money to supply. So those are some of the processes which are supposed to be made simultaneously to ensure that these processes are run in a very clear way. The other thing which I want to also say is the aspect of you need to look at, in this simulation process, you need to look at what is called the Public Benefit Act. The Public Benefit Act, who is the chief beneficiary? Beyond the directors, who else is a beneficiary to this company?
Yeah.
Of course, if you see a company is for the Shamba Boy, for the governor, you will know most definitely this one has been sent. And then you will actually know which tender has he ever done, which is what this money, which can be able to pay for this.
It is very true, because
those are some
he
of
managed
the things.
to know the money I received. Who else is the signatory in that
exactly,
account?
you're able to tell even
see
the
that.
accounts. And that is the major reason where governors are opposed to this, because their closet is going to be exposed, and they are going to have challenges in terms of explaining the people around them how they are the chief beneficiaries of tenders to the county government. Just to say the last thing is the issue of what you asked, the question you asked about being hacked and all that. We have a Data Act, and a Data Act which, of course, part of the process when complying with the e-procurement is how you safeguard that information. Does that information end up? Because you need to sign. Nowadays, even the bank which I work for, they had to make a sign that whichever data we receive from their clients, how we safeguard it. So once you have signed that, then there are processes of layers of which you will need to prove to them that the data is safe. So beyond that, there are even international guidelines. I'm surprised. I was surprised. I was in a meeting the other day, and I was told that there are international guidelines and safety measures which are put in place. So if the e-procurement is going to be rolled out, part of the public participation we needed, or somebody needed to do, is to ensure that people are taken through all these processes so that they are able to put all these things in place.
Clear strategy.
Yes, so that we avoid being exposed as a government, or we avoid exposing people's data not to land in the wrong places.
Okay.
And Victor, the government has capacity. Sometimes,
to detect all these things, the way of mom is...
Yeah, the government has capacity both to detect and also to do. The challenge, I think, sometimes we see as consumers of government services is the rush to make a legacy. And I think this has happened in almost all sectors. From education, a CS comes and says, paint all your buses blue. Tomorrow another one comes and says, no, that blue is not, is it blue or red? I think I'm colorblind. Make them yellow. So you see...
That one I can see.
That one I can see. The rush to want to do to create a legacy. And for example, I empathize with my good friend Mheshimiwa Ambadi, former party chair. Is the rush to be the first one to want to, to make a legacy on this e-procurement. It is not a legacy per se, but it is basically just forestalling a good progress so that prospects are visible. But those things need to be engaged from within an angle of a context. Now, that context has both legal ramifications. It also has user ramifications. It has stakeholder ramifications. If we can be able to ensure that we seal those loopholes, honestly, if other countries are running e-procurement, and if you visit any of the portals, if you are interested in, for example, international NGOs or organizations, how they do their tenders, is largely online. And you can see, for example, when they send a link and you click, they will even tell you 78 people have already clicked apply. You see? So you're already sure that you are the 79th person and that you are not alone. And if it is true that there are 78 and many others will come, then already psychologically you get prepared, as opposed to what we currently have, where you are told, Kevin, uko wapi? Kuna katenda hapa, si ukuje. So you already are psyched up that you have won, because a person in authority called you. So that when you lose, already you feel very bad, and that psychological preparedness is not there.
Kevin, you can't lose it because the 10% is there for him.
No, but sometimes you can lose. You never know.
But I think it's also important to note that it was not the only the 47 counties and all other government institutions, including yours truly.
Yes, precisely.
Right?
And that's what we are saying.
Including yours truly.
Yeah.
So, yes.
That stakeholder engagement has to be robust.
All government institutions, when you're doing, parastatals and all that, they were all supposed to be ordered into the E-procurement
And you know that
system.
some government institutions cannot come out loudly like the excellency governors are doing. So that's why I liked the angle that Wakili shared and also supported by chairman, that we segment the stakeholders. So when you are doing pre-qualification of suppliers, government has people who have already been pre-qualified, both national and county, all ministries, departments, and even agencies. Why not segment that process and just put them in a hall somewhere and take them through? You open your laptop like this or your machine, you start like this, you do it like this, and if you have a question, you can query.
Yes.
There's a number you can engage. You know, those issues which are seemingly making it so difficult for us to onboard a very positive
I think change is as good as rest. And when we talk about the book of Deuteronomy, the good and the bad, the curses and the blessings. So I think we just need to be very cautious. Gentlemen, we have to wrap it up there. I wish we had more time. But Harambee Stars and Seychelles. Give me your predictions. We are working so hard. Benny McCarthy is doing very well.
I was rather disappointed with the Gambian game. I don't know what really happened. I expected better given the Chan outcome. But I don't know. I think Seychelles, we should beat it. By a margin of the same margin we were beaten. We should revenge.
So we should beat Seychelles today?
We should, yes.
Goals? Your prediction?
3-1. 3-1.
Okay, 3-1.
If not 3-0. In our favor.
Okay.
At least for my good friend McCarthy to redeem himself.
We will be at Kasarani by the. I'll be there. Umami, what's your prediction? We are fighting for this. We have to go to the World
With Ben McCarthy, to me, I don't know why, I thought of he could just retain those young boys of Chan. You know, they were doing well. They were
to call them to the national team.
Beaten 10-0 or 5-0.
No. They had a bond. Those young boys had a bond. Now, when we included our stars, now we were beaten badly at home. That was bad. And today's game, I think, with Ben McCarthy, I think we are fond of 1-0. We are fond of 1-0 every game with him.
So we should do 1-0.
We are fond of 1-0.
3-1.
You can remember the Chan we have been having.
Do you know Kevin was a striker during his younger days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played number 7.
Oh yes.
But I was majorly a goalkeeper. Both for handball.
Yes, I had the last year's career, including becoming a pastor. Kevin keeps surprising me.
No. We should intensify our conversation.
Those are two different positions, my friend.
Yeah, and I said I played, but I largely used to be a goalkeeper, both for soccer and also handball. But before I do the prediction, I have a request to the Senate to fast-track the public participation bill. You realize that there are many things that are stalling because we really do not have a law to provide the threshold for public participation. My prediction is 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
That's a draw.
I think I'm the most optimistic. I thought Kevin could go 5. He's a pastor. I have much faith in my country.
You didn't hear a pastor saying that he tithed twice and he wanted to go back and ask for the other.
We need to be optimistic. We need to be optimistic. Kevin Osid, Executive Director, County Governors Watch. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming to the show. Chairman, Ford Kenya, Trans Nzoia County, Wafula Mutacho, Asante Sana, and Wakili Gibson Gesore. Always, gentlemen, thank you so much for always coming to the show whenever I call on you. Asante Sana. And you, my guest, the viewer, the show is all yours. All right? Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Lo. Good morning.
wakita.
Na leo inaonekana umechangamka.
Na pia nimefurahi.
Unajua nilikununia nini jana?
We, Cindy. Dadi umeiba. Hujalipa.
Yo pesa. Masajili atakulipa. Can someone please explain to me what is going on here?
Pesa zetu bwana. Jambo mengi.
Hi Josh.
Ndi mrembo kawe afai onekane aking'ang'ana na mtungi hapa village.
Miss can complain.
Auogopi Mungu, auogopi shetani. Hata nadhani ujiogopi wewe. Nani kama wewe pastor?
Sio mambo tulimaliza mwaro. Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Nimeshaongea na huyo mzika. Haiwezi hata kufungua mdomo yake.
Wakita wengine.
Today, we are diving into a space that has for very long been dominated by men, but not anymore. I'm talking about the construction industry.
I was really intrigued by this skyscrapers. It was the 90s. There was barely anything like that in the city. And I just wanted to be a part of it. It felt like a sci-fi frontier.
Yes.
And going through my architecture studies, I was just really inspired and driven how architecture really frames the built environment.
It's not an easy task, but when you are in that company, you found those male fundis.
Yes, you did.
They normally say that a woman cannot control me, a woman cannot lead me.
Most important thing is to be known as you're good at what you do. I think that's the most important place to start.
When you have a passion on something and you want to do it, believe in yourself, carry yourself with head high, trust in yourself and trust in the process.
They say the art without art would just be, get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Shukran sana wenzangu upande wa pili wa Channel 1 na vile vile upande wa pili wa KBC Radio Taifa Sauti ya Mkenya. Ilivyo ada ni Jumanne ambayo tunapatana tena kwenye Gumzo Pevu ikiwa ni ushirikiano mkubwa wa Radio Taifa na KBC Channel 1 tukiangazia masuala mbalimbali. Leo tuangazie siasa, tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya elimu na masuala ya ajira na vile vile masuala ya ujuzi wa kiufundi, na nitakuwa nataka kupata kauli zako kupitia mitandao yetu ya kijamii kupitia Facebook KBC Radio Taifa Sauti ya Mkenya, KBC Channel 1 na kupitia mitandao ya X @doramanya @KBC Channel 1 @Radio Taifa FM. Basi leo tunaangazia ujuzi wa kiufundi na soko la ajira. Mtazamaji na msikilizaji, serikali ya Kenya inaendelea kutazama ama kutangaza hatua inazochukua kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wanapata ujuzi wa kiufundi kupitia vyuo vya TVET. Katiba ya Kenya mwaka 2010 imeweka mikakati na vile vile msingi wa usimamizi wa elimu ambapo serikali kuu husimamia taasisi za kitaifa za TVET huku kaunti zikisimamia vyuo vya kiufundi vya kijiji. Kupitia sheria ya TVET ya mwaka 2013, serikali imeunda taasisi ya kusimamia ubora wa elimu ya kiufundi, kuongeza usawa na vile vile kuhakikisha mafunzo yanalingana na mahitaji ya soko la ajira. Hii ni juhudi ya kuinua vijana na kukuza uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Msikilizaji na mtazamaji, basi katika bajeti ya mwaka 2025-26 sekta ya elimu ilipokea shilingi bilioni 701.1 huku shilingi bilioni 5.2 zikitengewa kwa wanafunzi wa TVET na shilingi bilioni 1.9 kwa miundo mbinu. Idadi ya wanafunzi imeongezeka kwa asilimia 36.7 katika miaka miwili, lakini changamoto bado zipo kama vile uwezekano wa kupotea kwa zaidi ya ajira 1066 iwapo mpango wa AGOA, ukipenda African Growth and Opportunity Act, hautaongezwa kabla ya Septemba 30, na hili linaweza kuathiri takriban watu 330,000 kwa kuwa kila mfanyikazi mmoja anategemewa na watu 5. Ikiwa maeneo ya EPZ, ukipenda Export Processing Zones, zitafungwa au kupunguzwa, basi ukosefu wa ajira kwa vijana ambao tayari uko juu kwa 67% unaweza kuwa janga la kitaifa. Lakini yako mengi sana ya kuangaziwa asubuhi ya leo. Niko na wageni hapa studioni. Kwanza kabisa naye bwana Jimmy Kilonzo, yeye ni mkurugenzi mkuu mtendaji wa Youth Support Kenya. Karibu sana bwana Kilonzo.
Asante sana watazamaji na wasikilizaji.
Naam, na vile vile naye bwana Henry Indindi, yeye ni mtaalamu wa masuala ya elimu na vile vile mhadhiri katika chuo kikuu cha Karatina.
Naam, ninafurahi kuwa katika kipindi siku ya leo. Nashukuru.
Karibu sana msikilizaji na mtazamaji, basi tuandamane tuzungumze pale kupitia mitandao yetu ya kijamii ili kwamba tuweze kujua, je, unahisi vipi kuhusiana na masuala ya ujuzi na ajira? Ujuzi ambao vijana wa Kenya wanapata, je, ujuzi huo unaambatana na soko la ajira? Basi tuweze kuzungumza. Nikianza naye bwana Jimmy Kilonzo, karibu sana katika studio zetu mara tena.
Kilonzi
na Kilonzi.
Yes,
na kuita Kilonzo, sijui kwa nini bwana Kilonzi, samahani kwa hilo. Na tuanze kuangazia masuala mbalimbali. Kwa sasa najua wewe ni mkurugenzi mkuu mtendaji wa Youth Support Kenya.
Yes.
Mnafanya nini haswa ijapo katika masuala ya ujuzi kwa vijana?
Asante. Kwa mtazamaji na msikilizaji, Youth Support Kenya ni shirika lisilo la serikali ambalo linashughulikia ujuzi wa vijana, ujuzi wa kiufundi. Tunafanya skills training pale Mala. Tuko na vocational school ambayo tunafunza mambo kuhusu stima, solar installations, mambo ya beauty, mambo ya motor vehicle mechanic, food and beverage na skills zingine ambazo vijana wanahitaji kwa kujimudu kimaisha. Yes.
Kwa hivyo kwenu mnaangazia sana masuala ya ujuzi ambao vijana wanapata ili wakitoka pale waweze kujitegemea kimaisha.
Naam. Na ujuzi tunaopeana ni kwamba serikali vile ulivyosema imeweka mikakati kadha wa kadha kuhakikisha ya kwamba vijana wa taifa wamepata nafasi ya kuboresha ujuzi wao na kuwa na uwezo wa kupata kazi katika economy ama uchumi wa nchi. Uchumi wa nchi uko na tabaka mbalimbali, na tunaangalia ya kwamba TVET ambayo ni technical and vocational education training kwa muda sasa imeanza kupata umaarufu. Pale mbeleni kidogo ilikuwa na changamoto kwa sababu tuliona miaka ya 90 na 2000 pale a lot of TVET ziliweza kubadilishwa na kuwa vyuo vikuu. Wakati ule ujuzi wa vijana ulikuwa unahatarika kwa njia fulani, lakini serikali imeweza kuweka mipango na mikakati, na kuna mpango wa CBET. CBET ni ile Competence Based Education Training ambayo sasa hata inaambatana na Competence Based Education ya basic education, ile primary na secondary. Sasa hatuna tena ile formal education ya 844.
Naam.
Tuko na CBC.
Naam.
Yes.
Shikilia pale, tutakuwa tunakuja kwa mengi zaidi. Je, kwako bwana Indindi, katika masuala haya ya elimu umekuwepo kwa muda kwa sasa. Ndio tunajua kwamba takriban 38.9 ya vijana hawana ajira wala pia hawana ujuzi wa kimsingi. Mahali ambapo unaketi, labda mianya iko wapi japo katika masuala ya ujuzi wa vijana, kabla hata tuelekee katika mambo ya ajira? Kuna mwanya ama tutasema kwamba vijana wetu wameweza kufunzwa vizuri na sasa wameiva kwa sababu ya kupata ajira katika masoko ya humu nchini na vile vile nje?
Nashukuru dadangu Dora. Mwaka 2018 na mwaka 2023 shirikisho la waajiri nchini FKE ilifanya survey uchunguzi wa kuona ikiwa kuna ubia au uhusiano kati ya mafunzo yanayotolewa vioni na mahitaji ya viwanda. Na jambo lilojitokeza dhahiri ni kwamba hapana huo msigano, hapana uwiano. Kwa hivyo vyuo vinafundisha mambo ambayo viwanda na soko la ajira halihitaji. Sasa je, huu mwanya unatokea wapi? Ni kwa sababu hakujawa na ushirikiano kati ya viwanda na vituo au taasisi za ufundishaji. Na huo ndo unakuwa mwanzo mzuri. Kwa hivyo tunapozungumza kuhusu vijana tunawapa mafunzo ndio, lakini mbona tuna tatizo la ukosefu wa ajira nchini? Ni kwa sababu kwanza hatujawapa mafunzo yanayostahili. Na pia hatujawapa mafunzo inavyostahili. Mafunzo yanayostahili na mafunzo inavyostahili. Ndio sababu kukija masala kama haya ya umilisi, mafunzo ya umilisi ama competence based education and training yanakuwa na mafao sana. Kwa taarifa yako, kuna mataifa ambayo kwa mfano tunapozungumza kuhusu ukosefu wa ajira hapa, Ujerumani ni 5% tu ya vijana au wananchi ambao hawajaajiriwa. Na ni kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu wao wameweka msigano na ushirikiano wa karibu kati ya viwanda na taasisi za ufundishaji. Hivi kwamba inawezekana mtu akawa katika kiwanda kwa miaka miwili akawa darasani. Lakini Kenya tunafundisha tu. Hata tukimpa mtu nafasi ya kwenda nyanjani kufanya ushirikishi, attachment, au kujifunza zaidi kwa mafunzo ya nyanjani, tumempa miezi 3. Kwa hiyo miezi 3 mtu hawezi kupata tajiriba ya kutosha ya kumwezesha kufanya mambo kivyake kwa kujisimamia na hata kuendesha mitambo ambayo inapatikana katika viwanda hivi.
Kwa hivyo unahitaji muda zaidi labda wa kujifunza. Miezi 3 haitoshi.
Tunahitaji kufumua jinsi tunavyofundisha na kile tunachokifundisha. Ndio mwanzo wenyewe. Jinsi tunavyofundisha ina maana, nitakupa mfano ya mataifa mawili mengine. Nikupe mfano wa Norway. Taifa la Norway, mwanafunzi anapokwenda kusomea kozi ya miaka 4, miaka 2 atakuwa darasani akisoma na miaka 2 atakuwa nyanjani akitekeleza yale anayosoma. Vivyo hivyo kwa Vietnam. Na wamehakikisha kwamba kuna halmashauri, kuna board, advisory boards za industry na training institutions. Hivi kwamba hizi taasisi za mafunzo zinashirikiana na wale wanaotoka viwandani kwa ushauri wa kutengeza mtaala, syllabus ama curriculum itakayotumiwa kuwafundisha hawa vijana, na pia baada ya hapo wanashirikiana hata katika kutunga mitihani wanayoifanya hawa vijana. Naam.
Nije kwako bwana Kilonzi. Dora Kilonzi. Wacha niandike vizuri tena bwana Kilonzi. Hebu tuangalie alivyosema kwamba tunachukua muda mwingi sana darasani, kumaanisha kwamba tunachukua muda sana katika ile tunaita theory katika
nadharia.
Sijui kama ni swala ambalo utakubaliana naye na kwamba ipo haja sasa, kama alivyopeana mifano hiyo mataifa ambayo miaka 2 uko darasani, miaka 2 uko pale nje ukiweka katika matumizi yale ambayo umejifunza darasani. Sijui unasemaje kuhusiana na aliyotaja bwana Indindi?
Naam, aliyotaja ni muhimu sana na yako na kiwango cha kuadhiri mambo ambayo yanahusu kazi, ajira na ujuzi ambao tunapeana katika taasisi zetu. Vile alivyosema na mataifa aliyopeana, Youth Support Kenya kwa mfano, shule ambao taasisi tunaendesha the skill center, tuna uhusiano na Ujerumani ya kwamba tumeweza kuboresha mafunzo yetu, ya kwamba hatujaweza kupata 50-50 dual training. Dual training ni ile ambayo tunafunza kwa darasa, ile theory unapata kwa sababu ile ni muhimu sana kuelewa, lakini pia kuwa na uwezo wa kushirikiana na kampuni, the industry. Tunafunza kwa darasa na kumpeleka mwanafunzi ama yule trainee tunampeleka kwa kampuni na anaweza kupata on job training pale ambapo ako kwa ile mazingira ya kazi, anakumbana na clients ama customers na ana uwezo wa kupata ujuzi zaidi ya darasa. Zaidi ya darasa. Dual training ni kwa sababu vile mwenzangu alisema, ile gap iko katikati ya training institution na employer ni ya kwamba hatuna uwiano, hatuna ushirikiano wa karibu. Employer hako na kazi, mwajiri anaelewa nataka nini na dunia ya leo nataka nini, lakini mwenye taasisi ile link hakuna, ule uhusiano hakuna. Kwa hivyo unapata tuna train watu tunatoa pale nje, lakini wakiingia katika kazi kuna gaps, tunazitanga gaps.
Na nafahamu ya kwamba tayari serikali imeanza mpango wa dual training. Labda changamoto kwenda mbele kuhakikisha kwamba hii inafanikishwa ipasavyo, ama ni ipi ambayo tunafaa kufanya kuhakikisha kwamba hii dual training inasaidia kuhakikisha kwamba tunapata ujuzi ambao vijana wanahitaji katika soko la ajira?
Nafikiria ni muhimu sana tuweze kuwa na forum ya wafanyi biashara ambao wana invest na wale ambao wana train, wale wanafanya mafunzo wakae chini na wale wanahitaji wenye wamefunzwa, ndio tuweze kuelewanwa wakati mnatengeneza ule mpango wa kufuzu wanafunzi katika skills, ni nini haswa mnafaa kuongeza. Kwa sababu ukiangalia hata digitization ya dunia na uchumi, kazi nyingi zimehama kuwa the traditional, ile tu kwenda kufanya kwa mikono ama kuwa pale uwepo wako. Siku hizi hata digitization inafanya watu wanafanya kazi kutoka nyumbani. Kwa hivyo unapata mwajiri anaweza kuwa mipango na mitambo ya kazi imeweza kusonga kiasi ya kwamba wale wenye taasisi za kufunza kuna mambo ambayo bado hawajatambua ama hawafunzi. Kwa hivyo kuna mpango ambao ni muhimu uwekwe, tuweze kukaa chini wanaofunza na wanaoajiri, ndio tuweze kufanya uwiano wa syllabus ama curriculum yetu.
Naam, tutakuja baadaye kwa Sibet. Bwana Indindi, na tunapozidi kusonga mbele, katika miaka michache iliyopita, labda tunaweza kuzungumzia serikali iliyopita, wakati wanafunzi walihimizwa kwenda katika vyuo vya TVET, awali vilionekana kuwa vya wanafunzi ambao niruhusu nitumie maneno kwamba wanafunzi ambao labda wanasema kwa Kiingereza they are failures, wale ambao hawajafanya vizuri,
hawakupita mitihani,
hawakupita mitihani wale, kwamba vyuo hivyo vilikuwa vyao. Kwa hivyo ikawa kwamba vijana wengi wanaogopa kwenda katika vile vyuo, lakini ukaja mpango na kumbuka wa capitation. Maana nimetembea katika hivi vyuo ambapo kila mwanafunzi alikuwa anapewa shilingi 30,000 ili kwamba akaweza kuingia katika vile vyuo. Vyuo vikawa na wanafunzi wengi sana na mtizamo ukaanza kubadilika polepole. Sijui kwa sasa unakoketi hali iko vipi, kwamba ule mtizamo umebadilika kwamba vyuo vya TVET ni vya kukuza mafunzo ya kiufundi ama ni vya wale ambao wameanguka mitihani?
Jana, asante sana kwa kuleta hilo. Manake jana nazungumza na mwanafunzi ambaye alikuwa amepata alama ya hasi, B-, na alikuwa amenuia, hata ameitwa kabisa kufanya kozi ya population health, nafikiri katika chuo kimoja nchini. Lakini ameteua kwenda kusomea kozi ya diploma, ameiacha ile ya shahada. Hilo tayari linakuonesha kwamba kuna mabadiliko katika fikra za vijana wetu na wananchi kuhusu hizi kozi wanazozisoma. Na ulivyosema, hiyo incentivization ya serikali kwamba tunatoa vishawishi vya aina fulani, ima ni kuwalipia kiwango fulani cha karo ili wakasomee kozi katika viwango hivi, ilikuwa wazo zuri, kwa sababu kwingine inafanyika hivyo. Hata katika mataifa haya ambayo nimekutajia kwa mfano, yanafanyika hayo ambayo serikali inaweza kutoa hata kima fulani cha hela cha kusaidia hawa vijana ambao wanasomea kozi hii na ushirikiano wao na viwanda, ikiwa ni pamoja na punguzo la ushuru kwa viwanda ambavyo vinawaajiri vijana wanaokuja na ujuzi wa aina hii. Kwa hivyo ni mambo ambayo yanafanyika kwingine, na nafikiri kwa kuwa watu wetu wanatembea na kujifunza mambo haya kutoka kwa mataifa yanayotekeleza, tuna imani kwamba siku moja yatakuja kutekeleza. Lakini Dora, tuna ila moja kwamba tunasuasua sana. Yani sisi huwa tunajikokota sana katika kutekeleza mambo ambayo tumeyapata. Na hapo ndipo palipo na tatizo kubwa nchini. Tungekuwa watu ambao jambo tunalojifunza leo na tunafanya uamuzi kulihusu, tunaanza kulitekeleza papo hapo, hata hii dual training tunayozungumzia ingekuwa ishatekelezwa kitambo. Inasikitisha kwamba katika hivi vyuo vya kiufundi kuna vyuo ambavyo vinapatikana katika maeneo fulani yaliyo na nyenzo na rasilimali za kutumiwa kutengeza bidhaa, lakini hata mafunzo yanayotoa hayatokani na yale yanayopatikana in the catchment area. Unaweza kupata kwa mfano vyuo vya kiufundi ambavyo vinapatikana Kericho, kuna majani chai, lakini hakuna mafunzo yoyote katika vyuo hivyo yanayohusiana na uchakataji wa majani chai. Unaenda chuo kikuu cha Bumbe kule Busia kwa mfano, ambacho kinapatikana katika mazingira ya uvuvi, na wanaweza kufundisha teknolojia ya maji, wanaweza kufundisha watu kuhusu jinsi ya kutengeza hizo engines au mashine za kutumiwa katika maziwa hayo wakati wa uvuvi, lakini hawana kozi kama hizo kwa sababu we are not training for the catchment area. Na hilo linakuwa tatizo. Kwa hivyo katika siku zijazo tukitaka kuimarisha mafundisho haya na mafunzo na kuhakikisha kwamba kunapatikana ajira kwa watu hawa, tuhakikishe kwamba katika maeneo wanayotoka watu tuna mafunzo ambayo yanahusiana na maeneo haya.
Kwa hivyo tusianze tu kusema kwamba tunapeana kozi za utangazaji, tunapeana kozi za masuala ya ukulima, na mtu yuko mahali ambapo hamna nafasi labda
ya kilimo, watatekeleza wapi?
Nitakubaliana nayo, manake vipo vyuo vya kiufundi ambavyo nilitembelea, moja yazo katika kaunti ya Baringo, na nakumbuka huko kuna asali nyingi, na niliuliza swali moja kwa mfano, mbona hakuna kozi ya beekeeping kwa mfano? Manake huko kuna asali ambayo inaweza kusaidia wale vijana kuhakikisha kwamba pia wanaweza kujiundia ajira,
na hata itoke katika hiyo beekeeping iende kwenye value addition. Ni nini kingine ambacho kinaweza kutengezwa kutokana na asali? iwe ni mishumaa, iwe ni mvinyo ambao unatokana na asali, ili kuwe na kozi za aina hii. Tukiwatoa watu katika mazingira hayo na ufundishaji huo, tayari wametengeza soko la ajira na wenyewe wanaweza kuanzisha hizi nafasi za ajira.
Kabla tuingie lazima ni confirm bwana Kilonzi. Kabla tuingie katika labda masuala sasa ya ajira kikamilifu, haya mambo ambayo tumezungumzia kwamba sasa unakuta kwamba vyuo vya kiufundi ni vingi, lakini kinachopeanwa pale labda hamna hata nafasi ama kozi ambazo zinawiana na mandhari na mazingira ya mahali pale. Labda unakoketi wewe, himizo lako itakuwa ni lipi katika vyuo, kwamba ipo haja labda kubadili silabasi, na kidogo pia ningependa uguzie sasa ule mtaala wa CBET ambao tulikuwa tumeanza kugusia, na sijui kama uko katika vyuo vyote vya kiufundi kwa sasa.
Asante sana. CBET ni mpango ambao unaendeshwa na serikali kuhakikisha ya kwamba mafunzo ya ujuzi tunayotoa yanaambatana na market, the job market. Na tofauti ya mtaala huu na uliopita ni ya kwamba theory based iliweza kuangaziwa sana siku nyingi, lakini ikawa wale tunaofunzu ama wenye tunatoa nje hawawezi kupambana vilivyo na kazi za kisasa. Sasa ikawa CBET ni lazima tuangalie dunia ya Kenya na uchumi wetu, ya kwamba skills tunazopeana ni hands on. Mtu ana uwezo wa kufanya na mikono yake, kutengeneza na kuhakikisha ya kwamba kuna product out of the skill. Na vile mwenzangu amesema, eti hata wewe Dora umetembea na umeona vyuo vingi hazifanyi mambo yanaambatana na mambo ama uchumi wa eneo lile, ni kwamba kuna mismatch, kuna gap ya curriculum ama syllabus. Na ndiposa sasa tunasema ni vizuri tuangalie, hata kama vyuo vyote bado hazijaingia CBET, ni vizuri sasa tuanze kuelewa tunahama kutoka theory tunaenda upande wa uwezo wa kufanya, na ujuzi huo young persons wawe na uwezo wa kujikimu kimaisha na sio theory peke yake. Na mambo yamebadilika sana, ya kwamba eneo la uajiri pale nje alihitaji managers, linahitaji watu ambao ni hands on, those who can move the economy, not just managing. Kwa sababu ukiangalia vile hata digitization imebadilisha mambo, utapata tunaweza mudu kazi nyingi kwa digitali.
Pumziko kidogo tu, shikilia pale. Mtazamaji, tunachukua pumziko fupi upande wa televisheni, lakini upande wa redio tunaendelea na mjadala huu, na nisalie kwako bwana Jimmy Kilonzi. Kama waajiri mnataka nini?
Welcome to the FIFA World Cup 26.
Kenya's stars on the football pitch continues to shine brighter. The dedication, the self-belief and enthusiasm across the board is visionary. Join us for the FIFA World Cup 2026 African qualifiers, Group F, from Moi International Sports Center. Live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Orban turns left, fires home. Kenya lead, building up to half-time.
Try the new Be Lifetime bundle. Dial *544#.
The world of governance is vast and can be alien to the ordinary man on the street.
Critical issues are going to be discussed.
From white papers to policy positions, it is easier to get lost in the labyrinth of words.
Inside Government takes you to key global metropolis where critical decisions are made and where policies are crafted.
We interview policymakers and senior government officials to highlight and enumerate government policies and projects. We take a deep dive into the underbelly of complex red tape to demystify policies across the country, across the world. Join me, O'Brien Kimani, on Inside Government, only on KBC Channel 1.
Looking to advertise on KBC? KBC announcement services are now available on eCitizen. Visit kbc.ecitizen.go.ke and fill out the online application form. It's simple. 1. Complete the form. 2. Upload required documents. 3. Receive a quotation based on word count. And 4. Get notified via SMS when your announcement is ready. Please note, clearly indicate the type of announcement, service station, and all relevant details. 2. All applications must be made online only. Manual submissions will not be accepted. And 3. Announcements will air after news bulletins. For assistance, reach us on email ecitizen@kbc.co.ke or use our social media handles, Facebook, your Facebook account, and X at your X account. Or you can call us on 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124. KBC announcements. Simple, fast, and digital.
Watu wenye ujuzi wa kutengeza bidhaa hizo wanao. Masoko tayari washaunganishwa nayo ulimwengu mzima.
Shikilia pale tu. Tungependa kuwakaribisha tena wale watazamaji wetu kupitia KBC Channel 1. Asanteni kuendelea kutegea na vile vile kufuatilia kupitia runinga yetu. Tunarejea kwa majadiliano. Nakumbuka tunazungumzia masuala ya mafunzo ya kiufundi sawa na vile vile masuala ya ajira. Samahani, karibu tena Bwana Indeni.
Kwanza mimi asante sana dadangu. Ninachokitarajia ni kwamba sasa kutakuwa na utanuzi au expansion zaidi ya hizi EPZs, Economic Processing Zones. Alivyokuwa ameanza ndugu Moses Kuria kuzisukuma kule mashinani, tunataka kuziona zikiwa huko. Kwa sababu tayari soko lipo na ni pana. Na ikiwezekana tutumie hata nafasi tulionayo ya AfCFTA, ya soko huru la kibiashara barani Afrika. Tutumie fursa hiyo ili bidhaa zetu zipenye katika masoko haya yote. Ikiwa tuna ngozi hapa kutoka kwa wanyama na raba inapatikana Liberia na tunahitaji hiyo raba kutengeza viatu, tushirikiane na lile soko la Liberia sisi wenyewe hapa kwa kutumia nafasi tulizonazo badala ya kuendelea kujifungia katika mikataba ambayo inaweza kuisha wakati wowote.
Na nirejee kwako. Yes. Na nafikiri miaka miwili iliyopita muungano wa waajiri nchini FKE ilizungumzia idadi ya vijana ambao wanaingia katika soko la ajira kila mwaka ikiwa takriban vijana 1,000,000 kila mwaka. Ninyi kama waajiri mahali ambapo mnaketi, ni vipi tutaweza kuhakikisha kwamba hao vijana kila mwaka 1,000,000 kwamba wanapotoka katika vyuo ni vyuo vikuu, vyuo vya kiufundi, kwamba wana nafasi za ajira aidha katika zile ambazo tunasema white collar jobs, ama pia waweze wenyewe kubuni nafasi za ajira hapa nchini ama hata ugaibuni.
Naam, asante sana. Kwa mtazamaji wetu na msikilizaji, ni vizuri tuelewe ya kwamba tunatoa wakufunzi wengi kuliko nafasi za ajira zilizoko. Lakini hiyo ni kwa sababu ukiangalia wale ambao wanafuzu kila mwaka wako na ujuzi eneo fulani, na wakitoka nje pale mara nyingi labda tunaangazia white collar jobs. Na ile pressure tumekuwa nayo kama wazazi na wanafunzi, tufanye vyema shule, tuende university mzuri, kazi mzuri, na ni kazi ya ofisi. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri sasa tuangazie na tupanue mawazo yetu ya kwamba the blue sector, blue collar jobs, hapo ndio uchumi unakuwa. Na tukiangalia vizuri corona ilivyokuja, tuliweza kupoteza kazi nyingi ambazo ni hizi za maofisi ama white collar jobs, lakini blue collar jobs ambazo ni ujuzi unahitajika. Kwa mfano, mijengo iliendelea kabisa. Wale wanafanya kazi za mjengo, plumbing, electrical, masonry, hizo kazi bado ziliendelea. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri wale ambao tunaenda kupiga mipango ya kuhamasisha vijana kwa nafasi za kufuzu ama za ujuzi zilizoko, tuweze kuwaelezea sio lazima uwe university graduate ndio uweze kujikimu kimaisha katika uchumi. Hata hizi TVET ziko na uwezo wa kushikilia maisha yako kama kijana na uchumi wa nchi kama taifa. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri kama waajiri pia tuweze kuweka nafasi za kutosha, kama si kuajiri, at least tuwapatie nafasi ya internship ambayo wataweza kuingia pale hata miezi 3, miezi 6 kwa mwaka, na tuwe na mpango pia wa kufacilitate ile movement yao na maisha yao kidogo, hata kama full employment is not possible, but these young people have skills. Na tuko na uwezo kama waajiri wa kupea nafasi ya kuwa pale karibu, wasome on job training, ndio kesho hata tuweze kuabsorb kwa hizo makampuni na tuweze kuwa na uwezo wa kuendeleza.
Na wewe tayari ni mkurugenzi mkuu mtendaji na katika siku na miaka hivi karibuni, pia ninyi kama waajiri umeonekana kupendelea wale ambao wanafuzu kutoka katika vyuo vya kiufundi, ikawa pia imeanza kuonekana kama tishio kwa wale ambao wanakwenda katika vyuo vikuu. Ni vipi tutafanya kuhakikisha kwamba ipo kuna balance, kwamba sasa tusiwe kama tunaegemea tuone ubora labda katika vyuo vya kiufundi, basi wale ambao wanakwenda katika vyuo vikuu tutasema kwamba wakitoka pale wataenda wapi?
Swali mzuri sana, na hili ni jambo ambalo pia nataka niweze kusema kuna msemo ya kwamba masomo hayana mwisho, na ni vizuri pia wale ambao tayari wamehitimu kule vyuo vikuu waweze kuelewa ya kwamba wana uwezo hata wa kuingia TVET na wafanye additional skills, kwa sababu vile nilisema mbeleni, kama mwajiri nikikupea kazi ya management ama ya accounting ama ya supervision, at least nataka uwe na pia ujuzi wa kuelewa. Nikikupea transport and logistics, unaelewa mambo ya kutengeneza magari. Kampuni inaenda hasara sana kwa sababu ya maintenance. Wewe una uwezo wa kuelewa kiundani ufundi wa magari, ambayo utaweza kuweka mbinu ya kuweza kampuni isipoteze sana. Kwa hivyo tusije tukawa pia tunawapiga sana walio na degree, na pia turudi mahali tulioko mbeleni ya kwamba degree was better than TVET. So hii mjadala ipo, lakini ni vizuri tuweze na kuwa na uwezo wa kusoma, kupanua ujuzi, na walio na degree pia waweze kufanya TVET skills. Very important. Multitasking, remember, nilikuambia, na ni mindset. Yani mtu awe na ujuzi wa kufanya kazi zaidi ya moja. Naam. Employer is looking for that. Economies of scale.
Kuna swali ulilokuwa umemuuliza ndugu yangu hapa kwamba ni nini ambacho waajiri wanakitaka katika hawa watu wa kuajiriwa. Nafikiri niongeze kitu kingine, soft skills. Je, huyu ana mlahaka wa aina gani? Anaweza kukaa katika ajira na watu, anaweza kushirikiana na wenzake, anaweza kuwasiliana. Hizo soft skills ni muhimu sana. Kwa hivyo vijana ambao mnatoka vyuoni na katika vyuo vya kiufundi, lazima muwe na hizi soft skills. Muwe na haya maarifa ambayo yanawezesha kuwasiliana, yawezesha kukaa na mlahaka mzuri na watu. Lakini ninafurahi kwamba naibu wa rais katika gazeti la leo Kindiki profesa amekubali kwamba landscape ya labor imebadilika. Kwa kweli kuna mabadiliko makubwa katika landscape ya labor, na hili lina maana kwamba waajiri wasiwe na uhafidhina, wasiwe fixed, wasiwe conservatives. Na vivyo hivyo wafanyakazi waajiriwa na wao pia wasiwe fixed. Wakiwa na unyumbufu kama anaosema, wawe flexible kama anavyosema ndugu, waajiriwa watafanikiwa. Lakini pia huyu mwajiri naye awe mnyumbufu, kwa sababu sasa hivi hawa vijana wanaoajiriwa hawataki kuja na suti na tai kazini, na anaweza kuwa productive kwa muda wa saa 2 tu au 4. Kwa hivyo usimlazimishe kwamba lazima ukae hapa kazini kwa saa 8. Wewe tenga ule muda wake ambao yeye anaweza kuzalisha vizuri, kama ni saa 4, achape kazi kwa hizo saa 4, awe huru kwenda kucharaza kazi nyingine. Ndio sababu katika siku zijazo itakuwa muhimu kujadili tena kama taifa. Je, tunahitaji ajira za permanent and pensionable, ama watu watafanya kazi za kandarasi kwa muda wa kipindi fulani na waondoke? Na haya ndio mambo ambayo tunayaingia katika kipindi kijacho. Kwa hivyo kuna mabadiliko ambayo lazima tuyakubali. Na jambo ambalo linahitajika na ni kubwa ni kwamba kila mtu anahitaji kubalika, ikiwa ni pamoja na hata vyuo vyenyewe. Hivyo vyuo vikuu na shahada unazozirejelea, kuna wahadhiri ambao bado wanafundisha sasa hivi kwa kutumia vitini walivyofundisha miaka ya 80. Kuna mabadiliko mengi yamefanyika. Tumetoka katika miaka ya 80, miaka ya 90, tumeingia miaka ya 2000 na sasa hivi tumeingia 20. Mambo mengi yamebadilika. Huwezi kaa na zile yellow notes zako na ubaki na yellow notes mentality kwa miaka hiyo yote. Lazima uyakubali mabadiliko haya. Tukifundisha katika kozi zetu na mitaala tunayofundisha vioni, lazima ilenge kuwawezesha hawa vijana kutengeza ajira. wawe wajasiriamali, wawe entrepreneurs, badala ya kuwafundisha tu kwa jinsi tulivyokuwa wanafundisha kitambo.
Naam, kuwafundisha kupita mitihani. Mtazamaji na msikilizaji wa Radio Taifa, muda si mrefu tutakuwa tunapokea simu chache. Kumbuka nambari zetu za simu unaweza kuziangalia pale katika runinga yetu, ama pia naweza kutajia kupitia 0700176699 au 0732745111, lakini pia unaweza kutupatia swali lako ama pia maoni yako kupitia mitandao yetu ya Facebook KBC Channel 1 na vile vile KBC Radio Taifa Sauti ya Mkenya. Kwa dakika 2 zijazo tutakuwa tunaweza kupokea simu na tutaweza kusonga mbele. Tuna dakika 2 kabla tuende kupokea simu upande wa pili wa studio. Mambo mawili hapa nataka tugusie. Kuna ile tumesema industry linkages, kuweza kuhusisha chuo na vile vile kiwanda, lakini pia kuna kitu ambacho kinaitwa labor mobility. Tuanze na labor mobility na nianze na wewe kwa sababu wewe pia ni mwajiri. Katika siku za hivi karibuni serikali katika jitihada za kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wana kazi wamekumbatia sana swala hilo la kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wetu wanakwenda katika nchi za nje. Awali ilikuwa ni kama kwenda kutafuta ajira, lakini kwa sasa wanazungumzia labor mobility. Lakini maswali hapo yanaibuka kwamba je, kwenda mbele katika siku za usoni tunaweza kuwa na mianya? Maana kama tutawafunza vijana wetu, tutawakuza vizuri, wana ujuzi, basi watakuwa wanakwenda wote katika mataifa ya nje, alafu taifa litasalia bila ujuzi.
Naam, kwa msikilizaji na mtazamaji, nafikiria ya kwamba labor mobility na haswa vile Dora ameelezea hapa, tunafunza na wanatoka kutafuta kazi nje. Hiyo ni jambo ambalo labda kwa wale wasomi na walio katika vyuo wanaelewa kitu inaitwa brain drain. Unafunza na unatengeneza, unatayarisha vijana wenye nguvu na ujuzi tosha, lakini tunawapeleka nchi zingine. Serikali pale ina changamoto. Nafikiria lazima tuwe na policy ambayo inawezesha ubunifu wa kazi hapa Kenya, hapa nchini. Na vile mwenzangu alivyosema, ni vizuri serikali iangalie viwanda vilivyoko ama investors wanaotaka kuanzisha kampuni hapa wanapata zile tax waiver ama exemptions ama hata other incentives in the licensing regime, ndio tuweze kukuza na kuanzisha kazi nyingi zaidi. Ndio wale vijana kwa ujuzi wao na nguvu yao waweze kujenga uchumi wa taifa. Kwa sababu tunapo funza na tunapeleka nje, ni kana kwamba tunasaidia mataifa ya kigeni, kwa sababu hata ile pesa wanayotuma nyumbani ni mtu hayupo na anatuma nyumbani ifanye kazi ndio, lakini wale walioko nyumbani labda pia na wao hawana ujuzi wa kutosha.
Kwa tufanyeje basi kama taifa? Wasiende, wakae.
Kama taifa hili ni jambo ambalo ni mjadala ambao ni mgumu, kwa sababu serikali lazima itengeneze mazingira ya kazi, na kama haipo mahali fulani itatengeneza mahali fulani, lakini ile striking balance ni muhimu sana. Ni vizuri tuanze kuzingatia kama serikali ama kama nchi, ni vipi tutawezesha ubunifu wa kazi zaidi hapa nje.
Bwana Inidi, tutazungumza nikishapokea simu baada. Naona unataka kuchangia sana swala hilo, lakini kwa sababu ya muda naomba tuende upande wa pili wa studio za Radio Taifa, na iwapo mtaweza kuvalia hizi ili kwamba tuweze kuelewana. Tupokee simu chache upande wa pili wa Radio Taifa.
Hello.
Naam.
Nipata gari Garembo kutoka Kipiro hapa mpakani.
Naam.
Sasa mimi ningependa kwanza wacha nisalimie wageni wetu wa mjambo.
Hatujambo.
Kwa hivyo kitu kile ningependa kujua ni kwamba mtoto anaweza kumaliza form 4 na afanye hiyo nini kozi, ama lazima apita hapa aende university? Sasa ndio nataka kujua. Ningeomba namba zao, wakitoka watupe namba ili tupate kuwasiliana zaidi.
Asante. Radio Taifa. Hello, Gumzo Pevu.
Hello.
Naam.
Hello, Radio Taifa.
Tunakusikia ndugu yetu.
Hello. Nashukuru sana Dora, hujambo na wageni?
Hatujambo.
Hujambo. Halo.
Hatujambo.
Wanasikia kweli? Hello.
Tunakusikia.
Nafikiri kuna matatizo ya mawasiliano, labda kama tutapokea simu nyingine. Hello, Gumzo Pevu. Gumzo Pevu, halo. Hai, nafikiri ili tukomboe muda, labda baadaye tukipata muda tutarudi tena upande wa pili wa studio. Tuko sawa?
Nilifaa kujitambulisha, mimi naitwa Steve wa Fulama Papa Maka.
Tutakuwa tunarejea tena baadaye muda ukiwa utaruhusu, ili kwamba tuweze kusonga mbele, lakini tuanze na lile swali. Na nafikiri hili swala liliweza kuangaziwa sana, wengi wakidhani ya kwamba labda vyuo vya kiufundi, najua mko hapo kutangaza mambo ya intake na qualifications, lakini nimeona vyuo vya kiufundi vikichukua wanafunzi hata ambao wamemaliza tu darasa la 8 ama kumaliza chuo kikuu ama wakufanya vizuri katika mitihani. Labda bwana Ndindi uzungumzie hilo.
Manake kuna ngazi mbalimbali za hata hivyo vyuo vya kiufundi. Kuna village polytechnics na kuna vile vya kitaifa na vya kimaeneo. Kwa hivyo mwanafunzi hata yule ambaye aliemewa akakosa kuendelea akafika darasa la 8, kwa hicho cheti chake anaweza kuingia katika hicho chuo cha kiufundi cha kijijini akajifunza ujuzi fulani, na hayo maarifa atakayotoka naye anaweza kumuendeleza kuanzia hapo. Kumbuka serikali pia imekubali sasa swala la recognition of prior learning. Kwa hivyo mtu ambaye hata ana ujuzi wa kimbele ambao si lazima kwamba aliupata chuoni, anaweza kuutumikisha na anaweza kupata cheti kutokana na ujuzi huo. Hayo ni mambo ambayo yanaendelea, lakini kwa sababu Basic Education Act ya Kenya inazungumza kuhusu mwanafunzi kutoka chekechea hadi kidato cha 4, ni vizuri tupate himizo hilo, wanafunzi wafike kidato cha 4 na waendelee na maarifa haya. Ndio sababu serikali inasukumiza lile wazo la 100% transition. Yani kila mwanafunzi anayetoka katika shule ya msingi aweze kwenda katika shule ya upili ili wahitimishe basic education ya taifa.
Naam. Na alitaka kujua kama mtu anaweza kuanzia chuo cha kiufundi alafu akaenda chuo kikuu.
Ndio. Unaweza kuanzia hapo kwenye chuo cha kiufundi kisha nitatoa mfano wa mtu mtaalamu fulani kutoka Uganda ambaye kwa kweli alianzia hapo. Hakuenda hata katika senior school. Alimaliza kidato cha 4 ya Uganda na sasa hivi ni mhandisi mkubwa ambaye anajenga majengo makubwa nchini Uganda. Kwa hivyo unaweza kuanzia hapo, ukitoka katika kidato cha 4 uende kwenye chuo cha kiufundi, ukitoka hapo ujiendeleze hata upate shahada na stashahada nyingine zinazohusiana na eneo hilo, utakuwa umejiendeleza.
Naam. Rejea kwako mkurugenzi mkuu, na nilikuwa nimetaja awali masuala ya uhusiano wa vyuo na tunasema vile viwanda. Kwa sasa labda vyuo vinafaa kufanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba angalau kama vipo viwanda ambavyo viko sana sana pale karibu ama katika maeneo ambayo wanafunzi wanasoma ama hata kama ni mbali, kwamba wanafunzi hawatangangana sana. Wakati mwingine utasikia wakisema kwamba Kenya sasa kupata attachment ama internship ni ngumu kuliko kupata kazi.
Asante sana kwa swali. Kwa mtazamaji na msikilizaji, nataka tuelewe ya kwamba vyuo ama taasisi za mafunzo ziko nyingi na ziko na mitaala tofauti ya kusaidia wanafunzi. Na ukiangalia wengi wameweza kuwa na department ya internship and job placements. Ile department ni ya kuweza kusaidia wanafunzi kujua ni vipi utaweza kupata industry ama kampuni ambazo zitakupea nafasi. Na ile kitu ya muhimu sana ni kampuni ama taasisi sasa ziwe na uwezo wa kuestablish network ama hata database ya kwamba ukiingia shule fulani ama chuo fulani kiko na database ya kampuni katika sekta tofauti ambazo wana uwezo wa kufanya mikutano, kufanya briefings, kufanya upskilling, ndio tuwe na uwezo wa kampuni kusaidia vyuo kutoa wakufunzi ambao wanafaa kwa kazi ambazo zilizoko. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu sana tuweze kama waajiri tuweze kupeana ule uwezo wa kuattach wale wakufunzi ndio wakiingia pale wawe na uwezo wa kuimprove on job training beyond the school training.
Bwana Ndindi, nataka kusema jambo kwa hilo.
Naam, naja kwa hilo, lakini sijui kama utaniruhusu niseme jambo kuhusu labor mobility ambayo ulikuwa umehitaji.
Kwa fupi sana.
Mimi ninatofautiana na ndugu yangu kuhusu hilo. Manake moja katika hazina kubwa ambazo Afrika inazo sasa hivi ni kuwa na idadi ya watu ambao ni vijana. Mataifa mengine ya ulimwengu wa nje yalianza population planning mapema, kwa hivyo vizazi vyao vingi ni vizee, haviwezi kufanya kazi. Kwa hivyo Afrika ikitrain vizuri na itrain mafunzo ambayo yanahitajika katika ulimwengu mzima, tunaweza kuajiri hawa vijana huko nje. Na kwa kweli zile hela ambazo wanaziregesha nchini zina faida kubwa. Kwa hivyo tunaweza kuajiri wengi, tunaweza kufundisha wengi wakatufaa hapa nchini na wakafaa hata ulimwengu wa soko la nje. Tusiogope kuwatuma nje. Nikija kwenye hili la msigano na uwiano kati ya viwanda ama soko la ajira na maeneo ya ufundishaji, taasisi za ufundishaji, pana haja kubwa. tufanye jinsi mataifa mengine yanayofanya, kama Norway na Vietnam wanafanya. Wana MOUs. Kuna MOU ya TVET fulani na kiwanda fulani. Kwa hivyo wale wanaofanya kazi, wanaosoma katika chuo hicho cha kiufundi, watatoka hapo kwenda kufanya kozi za ushirikishi, kwenda kufanya attachment na internship na apprenticeship ndani ya kiwanda fulani. Tukijenga uwiano kama huo, kwa mfano chuo chake cha Skills Center Mala kina uwiano kwa mfano na shirika la Kenya Breweries. Watu wanaofanya kozi zinazohusiana na mambo yanayohitajika kwa East African Breweries Limited wataenda huko. Wakiwa na mafunzo mengine ambayo yanahusiana na mambo yanayohitajika KBC, watawatuma hapa. Kwa hivyo tujenge ushirikiano mzuri na ubia ambao unaweza kuleta miafaka baina ya viwanda na taasisi za ufundishaji. Alafu wawe na ushirikiano huo wa kudumu.
Asante sana Bwana Indindi. Bwana Kilonzi, muda unasonga lakini ningependa uzungumzie swala kwa ufupi sana kuhusiana na mambo mbalimbali tu ambayo pia tumejadili, na moja yazo ni kuhusiana na ile tunaita recognition of prior learning. Tunazungumzia vijana katiba miaka 18 hadi miaka 35 pale, wengine wanasema 34. Na pia kumekuwa na tetesi na pia wasiwasi katika hiyo masuala ya recognition of prior learning ambayo serikali ilipeana kwamba mtu ambaye ana ujuzi sasa si lazima tena aende shule, lakini anaweza kafanyishwa tu mtihani wake na akapata cheti chake. Wengine wanasema kwamba inakuwa ni mwanya wa watu kutokwenda shule, maana sasa watakuwa wanajua kwamba nafasi kuweza kupata cheti.
Asante sana dada Dora for hiyo swali. Ni swali muhimu kwa sababu saa hizi hata wafanyikazi wengi ambao tuko nao katika ile blue collar jobs utapata hawajahitimu kabisa. Utapata plumbing, ukiita mtu wa plumbing anakufanyia kazi mzuri nyumbani, lakini ukimuitisha cheti hana. Hama wale wa electrical na ile prior recognition of prior learning, serikali ilileta huu mpango kwa sababu jua kali sector inafanya kazi mzuri na ni kiwango kikubwa cha uchumi kinachangiwa na jua kali sector, lakini hawa na wengi wao hawana nafasi ile ya kurudi kukaa shule kusoma, lakini wako na uwezo wa kufanya hizi kazi kwa ujuzi wao. Sasa serikali ikaona ni mpango mzuri wa kuweza kurecognize wale wako na uwezo, na niliona ni mzuri kwa sababu ina bridge the gap. Kwa sababu tukisema tungoje kila mtu aje na cheti, labda haitawezekana kwa uchumi wetu kusonga mbele. Na kurecognize wale ambao wako katika industry, naona ni jambo mzuri sana serikali ilifanya, kwa sababu wanafanya kazi mzuri zaidi kwa furniture, kwa jua kali, metalwork, kazi mzuri sana. Ni vyeti tu hakuna. Kwa hivyo serikali kama ina uwezo wa kutathmini ile kazi wanafanya na ule ujuzi walio nao na kupeana ile recognition, I think it's the best for this country.
Bwana Indini, kwa hilo
nakubaliana naye, maana sekta ya jua kali na hizi biashara ndogo ndogo ile inaitwa informal sector nchini imeajiri takriban 80% ya Wakenya. Hiyo ndio inachangia 80% ya uchumi wetu. Hizi kazi za ajira ambazo Dora mimi nawe tunafanya hizi, tuko kwenye asilimia chache tu, kama 20%. Kwa hivyo hawa ambao ni wengi tunapaswa kuwawezesha kwa kiwango kikubwa. Na ikiwa mtu ana ujuzi wa kimbele na huo ujuzi ndio unahitajika, huo ujuzi tuutambue, tumpe cheti. Ikiwa anahitaji mafunzo ya lugha iwe ni Kiarabu, ili ujuzi huu ukihitajika Arabuni aweze kwenda kufanya kazi Arabuni, tumpe cheti hicho, tumpe na mafunzo haya ya lugha ili aweze kufanya kazi kule anakohitajika. Lakini nikihitimisha kwenye ule msigano kati ya viwanda na taasisi za mafunzo, kwa sababu inakwenda kwenye hayo mambo, ni kwamba tufuate ile ILO Convention 142 kipengee cha 5 ambacho kinawaagiza wanachama wake wahakikishe kwamba kuna ushirikiano kati ya viwanda na taasisi za mafunzo, ili watu wanaotoka katika taasisi za mafunzo wawe na mafao viwandani.
Naam. Asante Bwana Kilonzi kwako, maana wewe ni mwajiri pia na kama mkurugenzi katika shirika la Youth Support Kenya. Kuna mpango wa serikali na pia tumeona mashirika mengi, Benki ya Dunia, mpango wa serikali kuhusiana na kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wanaweza kupata mtaji hata labda kufanya biashara. Na pia sasa kuna mpango ule wa Nyota program. Kuna msikilizaji na mtazamaji ambaye ameuliza kwamba je, kuna ushirikiano wa serikali na sekta za kibinafsi katika kuhakikisha kwamba mpango huu wa serikali wa Nyota unafanikiwa, ama ni mpango wa serikali peke yake?
Naam, asante. Kwa mtazamaji wetu na msikilizaji, ni vizuri swali lililoulizwa kwa sababu vijana wengi sasa wanatafuta makazi na wanatafuta opportunities, lakini serikali imeweka kwa uwezo wake imeweka mipango kadhaa na imeshirikiana na private sector kuhakikisha ya kwamba vijana wamepata nafasi ya kujiendeleza kiskills na pia ajira. Swali ambalo nitaguzia pale aswa ni ya kwamba vijana wengi tulio nao siku ya leo, ni vizuri tuone ni vipi wataweza kuhamasishwa kuhusu uwepo wa hiyo mitaala ama hiyo mipango, kwa sababu mipango inaweza kuwa na inafanya kazi, lakini kiasi kikubwa cha vijana hawajui na hawaelewi hata njia ya kuapply ama ya kujiunga. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri ile hamasisho tuweze kutafuta ni vipi vijana wataelewa, ndio tusije pia tukapiga ndebe kwamba hakuna kazi na mambo kama haya, lakini pia hatuna ufahamu ni wapi hizi ajira ziko na hii mipango hipo. Because mwenzangu alitaja kuhusu entrepreneurship na nikasema kwa mtazamo wangu kama mwajiri na mtu anayeendesha mambo ya ufunzi, kuna vio ambavyo viko na ushirikiano na mabenki microfinance, na vijana tukisema wafanye self employment ama wajiajiri wenyewe, lazima kuanza ile kazi kama kijana huwe na fedha, uwe na hela ya kuanzisha capital, na kama huna uwezo wa kuelewa ni wapi zipo hizo opportunities za financing, haitakuwa rahisi kuzipata. Number 2, kuna kitu alisema kuhusu soft skills, even personal grooming, discipline important, kwa sababu yule mtu ambaye anatoa pesa zake kukufadhili lazima hawe na trust na wewe, hawe na uwezo wa kusema nikiinvest kwa huyu kijana, hiyo kazi atatimiza, atakuwa consistent na atafanya. Na nipeane mfano, niruhusu kwa ufupi kabisa, kwa sababu microfinance wanakupea pesa ya kufanya kazi na hawakujui. Na vijana labda tunasema hatuna capital, hatuna security, hatuwezi peana collateral nini, something like this to support our financing. Mfano wa Hustler Fund, na mimi sipigi debe kwa mtu. Hustler Fund labda mtu alisema 500 nitaomba inipeleke wapi. Hustler Fund hikujui, inajua tu wewe ni mwananchi, uko na ID, lakini hanza 500, 1000, tengeneza ile portfolio, your credit worthiness. By the time you fike 30,000, they will be knowing this is a consistent young person. Biashara inawezekana kwa huyu, hana uwezo wa kujimudu kibiashara, na tutampa nafasi zaidi.
Naam, muda unatupa kisogo na sekunde 30 kila moja tumalize mjadala huu, nikianza nawe bwana Indindi. Kwenda mbele tufanyaje kuhakikisha kwamba kuna uwiano kabisa kikamilifu, kuhakikisha kwamba mafunzo ya kiufundi yanawiana na soko la ajira, na pia ukitaja vile labda serikali za kaunti zinaweza kuwezesha hilo kwa sana, na itakuwa vizuri kabisa. Umesema pass tukuje huku. Unaona ukifanya hivi
nilikuwa narejelea ile nyota program ambayo umeisema na county inaweza kuipigia debe. Wajua maeneo bunge yale asilia ya 290, kila eneo bunge lilijengewa incubation center, industry incubation center, lakini wengine hawajaitumia hata kidogo. Kwa hivyo hamasisho ni kwa viongozi wetu katika taifa hili kwamba mna vijana wa kutosha na mna nafasi kama hizi ambazo serikali inatoa. Nyinyi ndio sauti ya kwanza ya serikali kufikisha ujumbe kwa vijana. Wahamasisheni vijana washiriki katika michakato hii.
Asante.
Na tuhakikishe kwamba tunaleta ushirikiano kati ya viwanda na taasisi za mafunzo. Tusifundishe kitu ambacho hakihitajiki.
Sawa. Mwelekeza niambia tufunge bwana Kilonzi.
Okay.
Sekunde 15 tu.
Asante. Kwa mtazamaji na msikilizaji, ni vizuri nafasi hii niweze kuwaomba vijana wa nchi hii. Vijana ni nguzo muhimu katika uchumi. Tafadhali tuwe na the positive mindset, ama ule mtazamo wa akili ya kwamba nina uwezo na nipate ujuzi unaofaa, na hiyo ni wewe mwenyewe uweze kutoka kufanya utafiti. Digitization imewezesha hata kwa vyombo vyako vya simu uweza kujua ni opportunity gani ipo.
Asante.
Tuwe positive mindset.
Asante. Bila shaka huu ni mjadala ambao unafaa kuendelea, manake nafasi za ajira tunatafuta, lakini pia lazima tuwe na ujuzi. Na umesikia waajiri wakizungumza na vile vile mkufunzi yale ambayo anahitajika pia katika soko la ajira. Kijana natumai kwamba umefaidi na vile vile mzazi. Tutakomea pale kwa sasa kwa sababu ya muda. Shukrani sana wageni wangu studioni, bwana Jimmy Kilonzi, mkurugenzi mkuu wa shirika la Youth Support Kenya. Asante kwa kuweza kufika. Asante sana bwana Henry Ndindi, mtaalamu wa elimu na mkufunzi ama mhadhiri katika chuo cha Karatina University. Asante kufika. Na kwa kweli mtazamaji, asante kufuatilia. Asante bwana Muhika ambaye umekuwa mwelekezi wangu, wapiga picha wangu, asante sana, na watayarishi wa kipindi hiki Omoi Masila, vile vile Nancy Kemuntu na Dennis Chisaka. Kwa pamoja tunasema shukrani na kurejesha upande wa pili wa studio zote mbili, Radio Taifa na vile vile KBC Channel 1 kwa mwenzangu Vivian Ndegwa.
A wonderful and informative conversation right there from my colleague on the other side, that is Dora Manya. Right now, we officially get into our health check segment where we talk matters health. And I have a question for you. We're posing this question to you. And the question of the day is, how often do you go for your health checkups? How often do you ensure to go for your health checkups? That is the question that we are asking you, and we will be sampling your messages coming in. So the number is 0716-103-301. 0716-103-301. I have the doctor in already. He will be getting into this conversation just to talk about the importance of you showing up for those checkups every time you can. Don't go too far. We'll be back to start off this conversation.
A grown woman who we took abroad to study, then she decides to get a baby and keep it a secret for God knows how long.
Don't owe you any explanation.
Are you Chris?
Unajua mimi ni nani? If you don't let me go right now, my friend, you are in trouble.
You need to come back. I feel like something bad is gonna happen.
Itisha alafu nilalishwe chini, wacha ikae.
I want to go home.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
I don't trust her one bit.
Lucky, right? Relax.
We have to find out the project they're about to do.
This might bring a company down.
Give that to me.
I knew I could count on you.
Niko na chai moto. Where?
What are you doing?
Vlogging. Anyways, as I say,
You can't keep treating her like that.
nialisha uniita shetani.
You might spare the road and spoil the child.
Don't burn the food thinking about my daughter.
You see this one right here? He's drowning in debt.
Mnaona?
No.
Wachana na yeye.
Why does he hate me?
No, he doesn't.
Then he has to be so bad at living with people.
They say the earth without art would just be get it? We circumnavigate the globe and traverse the local scene to bring you art and culture at their very best. From fine art, culinary art, performing arts, and even cultural events, you name it, and we have got you covered. My name is Kevin Kasioki, and I will be serving you this and much, much more each and every Friday at 8 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into the conversation. We are talking about the importance of regular health checkups and trying to look at the benefits of preventive and routine screening. And on set with me right now is Dr. Wesley Andota, and he is a family physician at the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. He's here to let us in on all of that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Yvonne.
You called me Yvonne. I told you so many times. We practiced. It's Vivian.
Thank you, Vivian. Good morning, Vivian.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Kenya.
Good morning. All right, now let's first begin with describing who a family physician is so that we begin our conversation from that.
Good. So, Yvonne, a family physician is this specialized doctor who takes care of the health issues of the family, everyone in the family, every individual, and gives a holistic approach to healthcare. While a pediatrician takes care of the small babies, an orthopedic surgeon takes care of your bones when you are unwell. The family physician integrates all that to give you a holistic approach to care throughout your life cycle. Yes.
All right, so that's who a family
So the family physician is the doctor who every citizen should have their direct line. This is the doctor you should always contact when you have any health issues. Yes.
Okay, that being said, when you talk about preventive healthcare, what are we looking at?
First of all, health is not just the absence of disease. Health basically means when you have the physical and mental and psychological well-being, meaning you're not just surviving, but you're able to function effectively in your daily life. So when you're talking about health checkups, just the same way, you have to service your car. You don't wait for the car to break down before you service it. So we need to give the same attention to our bodies. So health checkups are very important to make sure that as you live along, you're able to maintain that proper well-being. Yes.
Yeah. You're recognized as a champion for community wellness, you know, and you're passionate about disease prevention and also health promotion. Maybe if we just get to understand and get to know you better, where exactly did all of this stem from? Is there a pivotal moment in your life that made you decide this is the area where you want to focus on, and mainly community?
Yes. So growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor. And at some point in my high school, we lost our grandmother, and she died of cancer of the esophagus. I watched how she went down with the disease, how the health-seeking behavior was difficult, how it was not possible to get her the best care she required. And from that point, I decided I'm going to work in the communities, because that is where the disease starts. The disease originates from the community, and if you catch it right in the community, you're able to handle it easily. So it is at that point that I decided I'm going to work in the communities.
Yeah, closely with the communities. Now, what are some of these diseases that can be detected way earlier and would help, you know, alleviate some of the problems that one may eventually have, and if it was detected earlier, it would have worked better?
Now, if you look at the health statistics, you find that non-communicable diseases and cancers, including cervical cancer, prostate cancer, cancer of the breast, are some of the diseases that cause the highest number of deaths in the world. This is up to 7 out of every 10 deaths are caused by diseases that, if caught early, can be prevented. The #1 leading cause of death in the world, and in Kenya as well, is heart diseases. And you know, these heart diseases don't just happen suddenly. They start developing slowly and slowly. The same way the body is made up of very small cells is the same way those cells start changing in the form of disease. So if you're able to catch diseases of the heart, diseases like blood sugar, high blood pressure, we are going to be able to control a lot of the expenses we have on healthcare, and also to prevent a lot of deaths. So high blood sugar, high blood pressure, cancers, all types of cancers for both men and women are diseases that can easily be prevented.
So how often should we be going in for screening?
Now, it is recommended that everyone should attend health screening annually. That is everyone. But now, for specific diseases, for example, for our sisters, the ladies, we recommend that you do cervical cancer screening from the age of 25, breast cancer screening from the same age, and for the gentlemen, we recommend prostate cancer screening from the age of 40.
So from the age of 25 for ladies, yearly, you should be going for screenings every year.
Yes, but we recommend that everyone should go for at least a high blood pressure test, should go for blood sugar tests, and cancer screening annually.
Each year.
So
maybe we should put it down somewhere. Every time we're celebrating our birthday, you give yourself the gift of going to a healthcare facility and get checked.
I see some people decide to do their health checkups as the new year turns, and some of them during their birthday. So it is recommended that everyone should at least have a comprehensive checkup annually.
According to statistics, most people don't do that. You know, most people in Kenya do not go for checkups. We wait until there's an issue. We wait until there's somewhere aching, and if I won't go get over-the-top counter medication, but mainly we do not go for checkup or screenings. Is there a particular reason why maybe you feel Or is there something that hinders us from getting to that point where we are a nation that actually goes for checkups as it's needed yearly?
Now, there's a myth that if you are not feeling anything, or if you're not unwell, you should not do a medical checkup. Now, you look at the body is made up of very small cells, microscopic, that can't be seen by the eye. It does not mean that if your eye cannot see it or your body cannot feel it, it is not there. Take, for example, cervical cancer. It starts as a very small cell on the cervix, and it grows and grows and grows. So the fact that you cannot feel it does not mean it is not there. Look at high blood pressure. It starts very slowly, and by the time you're feeling the symptoms, it is already at an advanced stage. So we want us to catch these diseases early enough, because see, a case of cervical cancer, for example, if you get it at the beginning stage, the treatment is very fast, very cheap, and very effective. But unfortunately, if you're going to catch these diseases in their later stages, it is expensive to treat, and sometimes, unfortunately, impossible to treat. Yes. So we want to catch these diseases when they are in their early stages.
Yeah. Yes. Would you say that the cost of health in the country is among the reasons that are maybe hindering people from going to the doctors as regularly as we should?
That is partially true and partially a myth. Look at example, we have the Social Health Authority that pays for these medical checkups. And then we have these other insurances, the general insurances. They also have a package that covers just for checkups, because they have come to realize that it is cheaper to catch these diseases early. So if you look at the cost of treating diseases vis-a-vis the cost of prevention and early detection, you find that it is way cheaper to catch this disease early. So this is a case of literal a stitch in time saves 9. Because if you're going to get this disease in the early stages, you'll be able to deal with it effectively. Just last week, we had one of our doctors talking about a case of a lump on the back of a gentleman he was attending to. Unfortunately, this gentleman presented to hospital when the lump was already 15 kgs. Yet it had started 2 years ago as a very small lump. And if this man would have gone to the hospital, the treatment would have been easier. In fact, the doctor said the treatment would have been done in the outpatient setup, just some small anesthesia and excision of that mass. But now when he came to hospital late, it meant that this gentleman has to be admitted to theater. It has to be a major surgery. He had to receive a blood transfusion, and most likely will need plastic surgery after that mass has been removed. So if you look at the cost, it is actually a myth that health checkups are expensive. If you compare the effect of catching this disease in its later stages.
You have to treat
it. So we have to catch it early. Yes.
Okay, I want to engage our viewers and remind you that our WhatsApp line is open, 0716-103-301, 0716-103-301. If you've got any question for our doctor this morning, you can shoot the message to us, and I will be posing that question to him so that he can be able to answer it. As you also let us know if you are among the culprits who never go for checkups. So how often do you go for your checkups? Do let us know. Now, Doc, maybe there's someone who's just getting into this conversation, listening into this conversation, and you know, just from what you're saying, prevention is always better than cure. It's even cheaper, you know, than cure. And they may be wondering if, you know, or what are some of the screenings that they can be able to do using their SHA, you know? Are there all these screenings, are they supported by SHA? Like, can I go to hospital and use my SHA to do the cancer screening, to do this screening, that screening?
Yeah, so the government has been proactive in the fight against some of these preventable diseases. Say, for example, we have a national preventive strategy that says, for example, cervical cancer screening, SHA is going to pay for that simple pap smear. A pap smear is a simple procedure where some cells are taken from the cervix and screened for any abnormalities. The government pays for that, and it is available in most of the public hospitals and clinics. So yes, it is available.
Okay, so it's available. We don't have any excuse for not going to get checked. Now, I think it's also something to do with our culture. We normally, as a people, we're just used to, you know, just being, you know, as you were saying, you say, if it's not broken, why try to fix it? You know, whatever you don't know won't hurt you. You know, there's another one that says, yeah, if I don't know, then what's the need of me getting to know something that is going to be of, you know, that is going to hinder me in one or the other. So there's that mindset. Is it a culture thing? And can we be able to revert that?
So thank you, Vivian. Here we are talking about our nation's health-seeking behavior. The health-seeking behavior basically means what you do on matters health. There are those who choose to pray about it. There are those who choose to self-medicate. There are those who come to the hospitals. There are those who seek alternative medicines. We even have some of us who seek the services of witch doctors. Now, our health-seeking behavior, of late we are seeing a drastic shift, especially with the government efforts. For example, with the deployment of the community health promoters, they have been able to disseminate information into the communities, and we are seeing a drastic shift in how we seek for health services. Ideally, you should seek for health services from qualified professionals, but still, for some reason, maybe because of culture, maybe because of religion, maybe because of financial constraints, we find people not taking the right channel to seek health services. Now, we have places in this country where health services are not accessible. Not just accessible, but maybe not even available. So that could as well hinder the accessibility of these services. But yes, we need to encourage our people, when you are sick, when you think you are not sick, it is time to visit your health facility for these checkups. Yes.
How do we go about, you know, dealing with the barriers that are there?
Now, the biggest barrier we have, I would say, is the lack of information. Our people don't know what to do. So we need a lot of advocacy. For example, what we are doing right now. We want to inform our people about how to seek health services, what to do when they are unwell or when they are well. So we need to do a lot of advocacy and let our people know exactly what to do. Finances are also an issue, but I can see the government has gone out of its way. The Social Health Authority trying to cover the deficits that we have for those who cannot access services. Recently, we saw the government say they're going to pay for those who cannot afford the Social Health Authority premiums. We also want to encourage our people because of the cost of healthcare. It is good to have health insurance. The government health insurance. You can also take private health insurances to cover you in cases of health disasters. We also want to tell our people, you know, without health you cannot function. Health should be everything. We should incorporate health into all our activities. We have seen countries who take health seriously. We see the health systems are strong. We see them talk about health in every forum they get, because of course when you're not well, you're not able to function.
Speaking about that, maybe what are some of the everyday habits that can help us as a people stay ahead when it comes to preventable diseases?
Good. Having this conversation should be one of the starters of having a healthy nation. For example, Vivian, when did you last do your health check?
Wow.
You see, this is a simple
I'm one
question.
of the culprits.
We see you.
Unfortunately.
So you see, this is a simple question that can actually save lives. If you ask a family member, when did you last do your health check? It is going to prompt them to start thinking about their health. And you know, taking care of your health and mastering your health is simply taking care of your future. So having these conversations, we want people to be talking about it. Make it part of your everyday conversations. Like when you get to the office, good morning team, how are you feeling? How is everyone at home? So we want to probe that, because we know health is not just the absence of disease. It is the physical, mental, and social well-being. So these conversations should be had. We also want to encourage people to live healthy. You know, you as an individual, you are your own first doctor. You're the one to take care of yourself. So as an individual, take charge of your diet, eat healthy, make sure you do exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you avoid overindulging. Substances like alcohol and cigarettes do direct harm to your health. So we want our people to stay healthy. We want us to have a healthy nation. We want to have people who walk. We have seen in countries like Rwanda, they have a car-free day where everyone leaves their cars at home. You either take your bicycle or you walk to work. Yeah. So physical exercises in every moment you can is one of the ways of staying healthy. And of course, doing your regular checkups. Yeah. We have to schedule our checkups regularly.
So the initiative to start by yourself should be taken by each and every person. It is up to you to care for yourself. It is up to you to ensure that you are healthy. Although sometimes they say you can never be too careful, but I mean, you can do the steps that would help you with your health journey or good health. And I love the fact that you've talked about lifestyle, because I feel like right now it's a big issue, if I may put it as, you know, in quotes. It's a big issue because, as you said, people don't walk anymore nowadays. Watching what we eat is not really much of a priority, maybe. So it's important that you've actually pointed that out, that, you know, the daily things that you can be doing, one thing every single day that would help. As they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Not directly, but yes, exactly that. Now, when it comes to the screenings, still, I know you've mentioned on the screenings that women over the age of 25 should ensure they take. Men over the age of 40, the prostate cancer screening, and the regular checkup for every adult when it comes to your sugar levels and maybe your high blood pressure and all of those. What maybe are the screenings that, or are there specific screenings for younger children that parents should ensure that their children also go get screened for them?
Thank you, Vivian. Now, as a family physician, we take care of the individuals right from birth all through the life cycle. Now, for babies, we usually have the screenings that we do immediately after birth. The pediatrician is going to examine that baby and note down any deformities or any problems that they may encounter at that point. We also have the examinations that we do as the children approach puberty and also as they enter into adulthood. So yes, even the children are always screened for possible genetic malformations or any diseases that present in childhood. And of course, whenever you have symptoms in a child, always take them to a specialist. You know, sometimes most of these diseases, they appear the same. Something that might appear like a headache might be something much more serious than a headache that you can self-medicate at home. Yeah, so we want our people, whenever there's any health issue, any health concerns, always have it checked by a specialist. Yeah, so we want to see a more drastic shift in our health-seeking behavior, where we don't just assume, health issues. We don't. Yes, we can pray about it, but you know, God answers prayers through people. So when matters of health are concerned, God answers prayers through the health specialists. So as you pray to God, God is sending the health specialists to deal with them. Also. So come to the hospital, come to the health center, contact your nearest healthcare provider for any of these health issues.
There's a question here. It's saying, what is the timeline ya mtu wa CDK? Mwambie huu ni mwaka wangu wa 10 nikiwa kwa dialysis treatment.
CDK basically means chronic kidney disease. As we had said before, most of these diseases start slowly. By the time you're talking about chronic, it means he has had this disease for quite some time. Means the kidneys have failed. And you know, they don't fail in a day. They start failing slowly. By the time you realize they have failed, it is quite a damage. So chronic kidney disease is usually managed by our specialists. We call them the nephrologists. Sometimes the kidney is so damaged that we have to get a replacement kidney. So what we do, kidney transplants. And for the meantime, we usually do dialysis. The function of the kidney is to wash blood, to clear out any impurities in blood and any excessive items that are not required in the blood. So chronic kidney disease can be managed by dialysis, kidney transplantation. But now, he wants to know the timelines.
Yeah.
Meaning for how long you can be on dialysis.
Yeah.
This
They've
is
been,
individualized. Yeah?
in dialysis for the last 10 years.
For the last 10 years. Healthcare is always individualized. We cannot say that someone can suffer for this disease for only 5 years. Sometimes a disease is so well managed that you find that what takes you out is not even that disease. Yeah, you can even die through an accident, yet you had chronic kidney disease. Yeah, you can find a healthy person getting another disease that takes them down faster, yet the chronic disease is still being managed. So with proper management, we always improve our we improve our lifespan and our quality of life. So I want to encourage the one who asked this question. Keep taking your medication, keep doing your follow-ups, and it shall be well. Yes.
All right. Let's talk about over-the-counter medication.
Yes.
Nasikia nimeumwa na kichwa kidogo, nimeenda pale nimechukua dawa tu. Nasikia, I think, I'm just feeling heavy. I just go get medication over the counter. I don't go get checked to know what exactly is happening. If you can just speak about that, because I feel like that is something that most people actually do.
Now, this is one of the biggest problems facing our nation in matters of health. Self-medication and over-the-counter treatments.
Yeah.
You see, the body works as a system.
Yeah.
So if you're having, for example, a stomachache, you will have pain. But now you see the abdomen has so many organs that just taking a painkiller for the stomachache limits the kind of treatment you are getting.
Yeah.
So we don't encourage over-the-counter treatments so much because most of the time we are not treating the correct thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it may work, the pain may go away, but now what are you treating? You're having a headache. There could be a million reasons why you're having that headache. Yeah. So we want to have a shift of mindset over the counter treatments. We want our people to focus on the proper treatment. Yeah. Don't self-medicate unless you're very sure on what you are treating. So always get a prescription once the diagnosis has been found, so that we know you're treating the correct thing.
Okay.
We'd also want to urge the government to be a bit stricter on these chemists that just dish out medicines. Yeah? You find some of these medicines are controlled. Some of the side effects are really harsh, and it is important that they are followed up closely. Yeah. So we want people to be a bit more serious with their health. Don't just take any medication. Another issue is the issue of herbal medication. You see, when we give you a dosage of a medicine, say for example Panadol, take 2 tablets 2 or 3 times a day. That drug has been titrated, it has been compressed in such a way that we know the exact amount you're taking. But now when you're taking a herbal medication, we don't know when you're crossing the overdose, we don't know whether you are poisoning yourself, and sometimes we don't even know if it is the correct medication. Yes. So we really want to discourage our people from over-the-counter and self-medications. Yeah, because currently we have specialists to take care of us. Yeah, so come to the hospital, come to your clinic, and we'll give you the correct treatment.
Yeah, and on that, allow me to add, there's a time we had a doctor here on set as well, and she got to talk about the mitishamba, mitini dawa, and she actually mentioned that, yes, you could take that mitishamba and it works, but you don't know what else it's doing to the body. Maybe it's affecting your kidney in one or the other, and you are taking it for fibroids or for this or that. So it's really just important to just go to the right people. People have gone to school for this. Go to them and get to know what you may be ailing from. Now the messages are coming in. I will get into reading them. In case you have any question for our doctor this morning, you can send in your questions 0716 103 301 103 301. Someone is saying many people avoid checkups because of trauma after knowing their status. So what do you advise them? People who avoid checkups because of the trauma that comes afterwards. Let me read a couple of them and then you'll get to answer them. Someone here is saying, hello, this is John Karaoke, Records Officer at the Wellness Center, KU Referral. Thank you, Dr. Wesley, for the work you're doing. My question is about under 18 years, if they can do annual checkups as well. Good morning, Dr. Wesley. Your team and you are doing a great job at Wellness Center at Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral and Research Hospital. This has enabled early detection of non-communicable diseases. This one is just to give you your flowers on the work that you're doing. That is Eunice Maina. Another one is asking, morning Vivian and Doc, how are skin tags on pubic areas treated? Maybe if you can get into those ones.
Good. Now, one of our countrymen has asked about avoiding health checkups because of trauma.
Yeah.
Now, if we get this disease early enough, the trauma that you have at that point cannot be compared to the trauma that you're going to get if we get it later. So the earlier, the better. Yeah? Yeah. So we want to encourage our healthcare providers to be humane to our people, because that question basically means someone went for a checkup and they were given the diagnosis abruptly. Maybe they were not prepared for the heavy news, and therefore they felt traumatized. Yeah. So whatever the case, if we get whatever diagnosis you get, we're going to be able to handle it. Yeah. So we want to encourage you, irrespective. Yeah, get some courage, irrespective of the outcome of your checkup. We're going to handle it. This is you taking care of your future. This is you taking charge of what is coming ahead of you. So whatever the diagnosis is, be rest assured we're going to handle it in the best way possible. Yeah. So come, we'll take care of you. John Kariuki from the Wellness Center at KUTRH. Thank you for your question. Yes, under 18s can also undergo these health checkups. Yeah, we've seen screening going on in schools. We've seen cases of disease prevention in even primary schools. Like the government has a very comprehensive disease prevention mechanism called the National School-Based Disease Deworming Program, where children under the ages of even 15 are undergoing these checkups and being given preventive measures. We have even seen, when matters of cervical cancer, we see our girls under the age of 14 being given the cervical cancer vaccine. So yes, even those under 18 can undergo these health checkups. Eunice Maina, I know she's watching us all the way from the United States of America. Thank you for the compliment. We'll keep doing the best we can do. One of our viewers also asked about skin tags in the genital area. Please come to the hospital. We're going to take care of it. Yeah? Yeah. You may assume it's just a skin tag, and it could be a skin tag, yes, or it could be something else. Yeah. Either way, come. Let's have a good look at you, and we'll take care of you.
All right. Very well answered. Maybe I can read one more here. Someone is saying, hello, Daktari, I wanted to inform you that I went for an eye checkup after experiencing blindness in one of my eyes. The doctor at Kenyatta Hospital assessed my situation and mentioned that recovery is unlikely. Although it doesn't cause me any pain, I can only see shadows when I wave my hand in front of the affected eye. Could you please advise me on the next steps or any potential treatments? Your guidance would be greatly appreciated.
Very well. It is good that this viewer went to the hospital for that checkup. Diseases of the eye are usually handled by eye doctors. We call them the ophthalmologists. So they do a comprehensive check and find out first the extent of the disease, and even probably the cause of that disease. So depending on the cause of that disease and how it has spread, they're going to give us advice on how it can be managed. We have cases where we have to do counseling so that we can accept the outcome of the diagnosis. If, for example, the eye cannot be salvaged, we have to do counseling and prepare our people on how to reintegrate into the society. How to reintegrate into the society with now reduced vision. We also have support where in cases the disease is advanced, sometimes we may have to do an amputation. This basically means we may have to remove the eye and probably do a prosthesis. So for the person with the eye problem, it is good that we are at this stage and the doctors are going to take care of you. Yes.
Okay. Keep sending in your messages. The doctor is here just for you. Now, what role would you say communities have, or what role do communities play in promoting preventive health?
Yeah, very good one, Vivian. You see, we all live in communities. and it is in the communities that the disease starts. Yeah, everything originates in the community. Our food is in the community. Our lifestyle is in the community. Our families are based in the communities. So the community actually plays the biggest role. In fact, in levels of healthcare, the community is placed as level 1 and sometimes level 2, depending on the specialty. So the communities play a very big role in matters health, and we want to encourage our people. Have these conversations in the community every time you're in the market, every time you're having a chief's baraza, every time the politician is doing his campaigns. Let us talk about health. So the community plays a very big role. And we want to applaud the government. Recently, we saw our president flag off more than 100,000 community health promoters. This basically means they're going down into the community where the diseases start, and they're going to work from the communities. We have also seen some collaborations from non-governmental organizations that work directly in the community. We have an NGO currently in Bita looking at bilharzia. We have several others, very renowned international ones. Yeah? They are working around cases of cholera, cases of malaria, supporting our counties, and basically encouraging the communities to take charge. So the community should take charge of their health. That is where everything begins. Yes.
Yeah, and I love that you've touched on community health promoters because they play a really big role in our communities, and we should laud them. There's a message that has just come in. Sema ambia doc asante kwa kujibu swali langu na kwa kunitia moyo.
Good.
All right. What impact have you seen, preventive screening have? In the years that you have been in this line?
Yes. Now, previously, our nation was focusing on curative healthcare rather than preventive healthcare. But we have seen this shift where now we are working on mostly preventing diseases, promoting matters of health. And there has been a significant change. If you look at our national statistics from the Ministry of Health, we are having diagnosis of up to 42,000 cases of new diagnosis of cancers in our communities. And this comes up to about 27,000 deaths, and this is annually. Yeah. So when we focus on disease prevention and disease promotion, we find that the impact on the healthcare system is magnanimous. We are able to see a reduction in expenditure of healthcare. Our health expenditure reduces drastically because we are able to capture these diseases early, and therefore the cost of treatment is lower. We find that working in the communities and doing preventive and promotive health strengthens the health systems. So yes, there's a big impact on doing preventive rather than curative health. We have generally a population that is lively, a population that is well informed, and largely healthy population.
Okay, I want to read as many messages as I can. Another one here is asking the question of, can brain tumors be removed without the casualty dying, and which part of the brain does it grow and affect most, and why do headaches become severe? Another one here saying, Kibet Mario in Kapkejui, Nandi, I heard that Ramban urinating leads to bladder problems. Is it true? Hello, I'm Joseph. I need to see a gynecologist. Can he connect me?
Good. I'm glad that the nation is tuned in and they are following the conversation.
Yes, sir.
So about brain tumors, if they can be removed without someone losing their life. Now, it will depend on where the brain tumor is, and it will also depend on the extent of the disease. Catching these diseases early makes it easier in dealing with them. So small brain tumors that are easily removed can make our work very easy. Yeah, the treatment can be easy and very fast. Now, survival of a patient during surgery depends on several factors, and the main one is the extent of the disease. Early diseases basically means the prognosis, which is how the disease progresses, is better. So on the brain tumor, we will have to look at the individualized case to know exactly the age of the patient, which brain tumor that is, and the progression of that disease, for us to be able to say whether it can be removed or not. Yeah, so that decision is individualized to that patient. Yeah, Kibet calling, asking a question from Nandi, asking about if rampant urination damages the bladder. First of all, Kibet, thank you for asking that. I would like to turn that question and say rampant urination is probably an indication of a problem. And that problem could as well be the bladder itself. So it is not the urination that will cause damage to the bladder. It could be damage to the bladder that causes the rampant urination. Yeah, it could also be something else. Diseases like high blood sugar will give you excessive urination. So Kibet, please visit the nearest health facility for a proper assessment, and then we are going to work out on the treatment modalities. Joseph wants to see a gynecologist. Yeah, most of our county hospitals have gynecologists ready for you. Yeah, depending on where you are. We welcome you. If you are in Nairobi, Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital has some of the best gynecologists world over. Karibu sana. We are going to take good care of you. So yeah, depending on where you are, Joseph, yes, gynecologists are available.
Okay. Now, before we come to a conclusion of this discussion that we are having right here, can you talk about some of the success stories that you've gotten to encounter, you know, in your area of field that actually, you know, loud the fact that prevention is always better than cure? I know with doctors you have the confidential, so you don't need to mention the names, but just give us the stories.
So there's this friend of mine. He currently works in South Sudan. I will not mention his name, but he's a good friend. He's probably watching us. Yeah. So his family member had a case of cervical cancer. Luckily, we got that disease very early, and it's been now around 2 weeks that the surgery was done. One of our gynecologists did the surgery, and the treatment is complete. Yeah. Had we waited for longer, this disease would have spread. But because of early screening and taking charge of our health, we were able to catch it at stage 1. Yeah, and the treatment was very easy and complete. So that's a success story I would like to laud, and also to encourage our people to always look for ways to catch the diseases early. At Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, we have a dedicated wellness center where people come just for health checkups. And yes, we have caught cases of high blood pressure and high blood sugar, that is diabetes. We catch them early and we put people on treatment. And sometimes the treatment does not necessarily mean surgery or medication. Just an advice on lifestyle changes. Like recently, a week ago, we had a gentleman who had high blood pressure, and all we needed to do was to advise him. Stop your cigarettes, do your exercise, adjust your diet, take your water, reduce your salt, eat healthy. And as we speak now, we are seeing a big change in the kind of parameters he's presenting.
All right. Unfortunately, our time is up. There are very many other questions. We'll figure a way of how you can get to answer these questions outside this session that we are having right now. But thank you so very much for coming through to the show. Thank you for answering the questions that Kenyans are having concerning their health. And thank you for lauding the fact that we should make it a routine of us going for screenings at least once a year, even if you're feeling okay. So Doc, maybe your final remarks?
Now, let's take charge of our health. Yeah, taking charge of your health basically means you can control your future. Yeah, let's make health screening part of our daily routine. Let's make it part of our schedule. Let's not do it only when there is a problem. So at Kenyatta University Teaching and Research Hospital, we have a dedicated wellness center where you can walk in and book for your screening. We have comprehensive packages that we've tailored to different genders. We look at the common diseases. The common diseases we have, the high blood pressure, high blood sugar, the cancers, and we're able to detect these diseases early and start treatment early. And if there's no disease detected, remember, when you have that information, you feel empowered to take care of yourself. So we want a healthy nation. We want a nation that takes charge of their health.
All right. And this is where we call it a wrap right here on Good Morning Kenya this morning. That was Dr. Wesley Andota, who's a family physician at the Kenyatta University Teaching Referral and Research Hospital. My name is Vivian Degwa. For everyone who has gotten to make this show a success, we want to wish you a lovely day. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
Welcome to the FIFA World Cup 26.
Kenya's stars on the football pitch continues to shine brighter. The dedication, the self-belief and enthusiasm across the board is visionary.
Almost cross Olunga!
Join us for the FIFA World Cup 2026 African qualifiers, Group F, from Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. And exclusive on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Orban turns left, fires home. Kenya lead, building up to half-time.
Express yourself any place. Buy the new Be Lifetime bundle. Dial *544#.
Na leo inaonekana umechangamka.
Na pia nimefurahi.
Unajua nilikununulia nini jana?
We Cindy. Dadi umeiba. Ujalipa.
Yo pesa. Master Joel atakulipa.
Can someone please explain to me what is going on here?
Pate pesa zetu bwana. Chombo mengi.
Hi Josh.
De mrembo kawe afai onekane akingangana na mtungi hapa village.
Miss can't complain.
Auogopi Mungu, auogopi shetani. Hata nani ujiogopi wewe? Nani kama wewe pastor?
Sio mambo tulimaliza mwaro. Ni nini mbaya na wewe? Nimeshaongea na huyo muzika. Haiwezi hata kufungua mdomo yake. Wengine
Will artificial intelligence revolutionize music streaming platforms like Spotify and Deezer? AI could not only suggest the perfect music to you, but also deliver podcasts in your native language. More on that in a moment. Plus, why are social networks doing so little to combat Russian propaganda in our feeds? And reasons why the antitrust lawsuit against Google affects us all. These are the topics that are moving the tech world. Music streaming services are really into AI these days. How can we benefit as users? Your favorite podcast in your native language, even with the cloned voice of the original host. New AI-generated music or your very own AI DJ that caters to your taste. Spotify bets big on AI and others might follow. Spotify is rolling out a new podcast feature that clones and translates a host's voice, making the podcast available in other languages.
When you say the word toxicity, how are you defining that? You're saying like toxic chemicals que introducimos en nuestras vidas, en nuestra piel, consumimos, inhalamos, tenemos a nuestro alrededor y que están en nuestros alimentos.
And with voice cloning tools now easily accessible, other streaming services or even creators themselves could soon follow this trend. And there's more to come. How will AI change the world of audio entertainment? Making podcasts more diverse.